guys. Are you ready? I know I am. First. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for Wall Street Open Tuesday? I know I am. I've got some good stuff coming on this stream, and as always, I appreciate you, the community that are joining us so early, especially the US ones. Got people from Hawaii in here. It's like 1 a.m. there. They are dedicated to the community like no one else. 1 a.m. is pretty crazy to get up. That means they go to bed at like 5. Anyway, big shout out to everyone out there. Are you ready for Tuesday? I know I am. What have we got going on though? Well, firstly, as I said in today's video, it is all about the Nasdaq still. The Nasdaq, the Nasdaq, the Nasdaq, the Nasdaq. We have to focus on that if we're trading stocks. And of course, when it comes to crypto, is it all about Bitcoin holding 54,000? I think it is. We will be going in on that one and discussing it. I saw a few people mentioning ADA before. Don't worry, we'll cover that. We will cover XRP, we'll cover DOT, we'll cover Tesla, we will cover AAPL, Amazon, and the others. We are ready. Okay, straight up, Nasdaq. This was the close yesterday. Before we go to live market, which is basically the same as the close, it's about 13,072. What happened? Well, we had a gap, and the gap moved up. We also know that it held relatively well. However, some stocks didn't hold as well as others. We actually saw a bit of a movement into big technology, and I believe this is a bit of a strategic movement as well. Things like AAPL, Amazon, Microsoft as well, in rumors, I believe, potentially looking at buying Discord. Okay. Someone correctly pointed out in the private community, I was like, don't ruin Discord, come on now. We have our private community over there and public community. I don't want Microsoft meddling in it. But it's not the same Microsoft that stuffed Skype. It's not the same Microsoft that stuffed up MSN. Hopefully, it's the Microsoft that improves upon services, or at least lets them kind of run with it. In fact, they are improving on Xbox right now as well. So we'll take a look at Microsoft. I think it presents some interesting kind of blue chip technology options over the next couple of months. So yeah, NDX, here we are. We know the strategy. The strategy is that we are in an inverse head and shoulder right now. We have the left shoulder, we have the head, we have the right shoulder, and we are in the middle of the trading range. Where do we expect resistance? 13,300 is going to be resistance. Let's move over to the live chart now. US 100 futures, that is where we sit. Yesterday we closed above the 13,000. So I believe now we're really starting to think about triggering into the 13,300, but can we do it yet? Let's have a look at the two major factors that are going to lead to that. Well, firstly, treasury yields are down. And you know what that means, guys? That means the opportunity for us to take advantage of the Nasdaq could be coming through. Let's have a look at this 1 hour. I mentioned yesterday we closed underneath this level and then we can go back down to the 1.6. So it seems likely that the Treasury yields, look, they might stop here, a little bit of support, a little bit of resistance, but probably down to the 1.6 now for the Treasury yields, causing potential spike in the NAS. But the dollar index is the crippling factor here. Look at this US dollar bull. Look at it. Right at resistance. Stupid thing. Look at it up there. It's ruining the stock market bull fun. No, but this closes above these levels. This is very, very bullish. I expect an instant reprice up to the 92.50, and it just shows how you need to pay attention to the weeklies, because for a while now, the weeklies have been bouncing. 20 exponential moving average acted as dynamic resistance. Now it's dynamic support, and all of a sudden, 2 bounces off that level. Jerome Powell coming out with some discussions, and we're moving on the way up. Have we confirmed anything yet? No. We've seen false breakouts before, but that big rejection candle, it just shows no follow through. What do we do on this channel? We don't look to trade it. With no follow through, it just doesn't work. Here we go. Sam says Microsoft owning Discord is terrifying. Duncan Dave says, get woke, go broke. Microsoft will kill the Discords. Oh, people are not happy with that one. Think you're muted, bruv. Better not be muted. I've been talking a lot, so I better not be muted yet. California, we ready, TT Rock says. Perfect. That's pretty early over there. Alaska, 3 a.m. Always wanted to visit Alaska. Great place, I hear. Had some friends that lived over there a long time ago. Louis says, smash that like button. Thank you so much. Heck yeah, don't forget the GME in the title. Maybe I should put the GME in the title. I've got the AMC in there, but not the GME. Probably should do that. Stonk Squad. Yeah, we have some Stonk Squad members here. We've got Diamond Hands. We've got a few day traders now, which is amazing. Hey, Tom, turn your mic on now. You guys have learned that I forget to turn it on. But yeah, I'm not muted this time around. So dollar index, yes. What is the DXY? Phil C says it's the US dollar index. Basically, it gauges the strength of the US dollar versus other currencies out there. And usually it's weighted, it's the US dollar versus like European or Euro, Great British Pound, Yen, etc. So this is showing that the US dollar is stronger than every other currency out there. And because this is the major, what that means is risk on and risk off in the stock market. So basically, if it goes up, usually that means risk off in the stock market. If it goes down, that usually means risk on in the stock market, because people are moving out of the US dollars if it goes down and going into risk. So generally means kind of a negative thing for the markets. However, because of those treasury yields counterbalancing it with the Nasdaq, you're seeing Nasdaq hold quite well. And at the same time, the US 500 is actually moving down. Check this out. And we'll look at the futures in just a few moments. And don't worry, crypto guys, I got your back. We'll be looking at Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin, very interesting points. So 39.23 here for the US 500 continues to struggle around this under 4,000 level, but it's moving down right now. And when we go to have a look at the screener for the morning, let's bring this up. I haven't looked at the screener, as I like to do with the community. I want to check it together with you. When it eventually loads, I'll bring it on. Whoa, that sounds like a member has joined. Dr. Drew, aka Humpy, welcome to the Stonk Squad. Thank you so much, Dr. Drew. Give him a warm welcome to the rest of the community. Thank you for supporting the stream. We've also got Sal De Cristo coming in with a $1.99 donation. Is it time to start buying puts on UPST? We'll check that out very soon, sir. Thank you very much for your donations, as always. Okay, let's see if this thing's actually loaded. Here we go. All right, we're bringing it on. Oh, yeah, there we are. All right, pre-market, what is happening? Up these companies. Not too much super greens here. Let's go to the super reds. Super reds, we've got Baidu, we've got DoorDash, Ferrari, Spotify. This is of the 23 billion plus size companies, Boeing, Goldman Sachs, etc. So it's a bit of kind of like a mix match of companies, but mostly the tech still flat to slightly up, or at least very, very, look at that, Alphabet down here, only 0.09 down. So tech seems to be doing okay early, and the rotation is coming out of some of the other sectors. Let's have a look at the other watch list that you guys care about, which is, of course, the more questionable investments, more of the gamblery investments. AMC, unfortunately, is down quite hard, 6.49% to 1168. Then we also have, where is GameStop? GameStop only down 0.1. We're talking about the key levels for that. For all of you apes out there that are still following these ones, I'll talk to you about the major levels and we'll cover them soon. Let's go over to BTC. BTC is probably the most interesting chart. 53,000 actually reached. Wow, that was a big dive off, but luckily it came back to the 54 before closing below. And again, it shows you that certain timeframes, such as the swing timeframes, are so important when we're doing an analysis of the markets. You know, one of the things I always say is pick some of the timeframes you like to trade on. If you're a swing-based trader, it's all going to be about 4-hour, daily, weekly. They're the 3 timeframes you need to look at. If you're a day trader, you're going to have to go down, but you like to 1 hour, 4 hour, 15-minute, and less. However, you need to be very, very careful on these smaller timeframes because you will have more fake outs from closure points. You've got to use a different style of system, and usually it's not based on closures as much. It's based on a bit more feel, to do with the moving averages, to do with support resistances, how many there's been, all those types of things. We'll go through it on the channel at some point. So 54,000 is consolidating for Bitcoin. It's lucky that it held so far. We have to dial in on this 1 hour and 2 hour charts to really find out what we're looking for today. But for bulls of Bitcoin, it must hold 54,000. Otherwise, you expose 52 or lower. And I'm looking for it to go past the 55,000 this session. I would like to see 55,000 plus reached by Bitcoin over the next couple of hours. And if we can do that, then we return back hopefully to the 56.5 and we can find some resistance there. But that might allow some day traders opportunities to get in. You know, making a new high here, we gravitate up to the 56.5. And then, yeah, we can probably find some resistance here and there'll be further selling pressure. That's generally what is going to happen with these ones. Let's do Sal de Cristo's donation here before going into the other crypto pairs. UPST, Upstart Holdings, 164.90. So this was pretty extended. Well done on this one, Sal. I believe you've been in this. We didn't see any reasons to get out of it last time, I don't think. We were trying to follow it by some form of moving average, and I think it was very, very tough. Look, that is super hyper extended. How big is this now? This is 12.13 billion. You say, is it time to start buying puts? Pre-market down 2.2%. You would have to think that it's getting out of control. That is an incredible run. An incredible run. But when you buy puts, there's going to be a lot of premium on it. So you're going to have to make sure that you believe it's correct. The good thing with buying puts, guys, if you're not familiar with it, is at least you can, really set your risk. Buying a put, we're setting it up for really, let's say it's $500. We can buy $500 worth of risk. And let's say it costs us $10 for, a month. Then we can basically, potentially make 5 or 6 or 7 times that money quite easily just by the drop off here. It's all about risk reward and implied volatility. Implied volatility is the number one most important thing when it comes to figuring out whether an option is worthwhile picking up or not. Yeah, this is getting pretty high. It's pretty extended. It's never done anything quite like this before because it's so new. Oh, that's insane. 12.13 billion. Timing it could be your problem there, Sal, but yes, it is up hard. You haven't seen a negative reason for it just yet. We've got Trenton Morris joining the community. Welcome to the Diamond Hand Squad. Remember to link your Discord with YouTube and you'll get access to the benefits there, Trenton. Thank you so much, and say a big thank you to Trenton in the community. Appreciate it, man. Please analyze AMC. Worried, Jonathan says. Yeah, we will. We will be looking at that. Let's go through Ethereum though, go through some of the cryptos, and then we'll go over to that. We'll go over to the AMC GME situation. I can see why you're worried. It's probably fair enough, unfortunately, to be worried there. So good news for Ethereum fans is, like Bitcoin, it's hit a point of resistance and support. This was last time a big breakout level that caused it to go up to the 1930. But I tell you what, Ethereum really, really needs ETH 2.0 because the sentiment here is just not that great on Ethereum. Like, we're already down. What is this? Top to bottom, 13%. Let me go back over to BTC. What's top to bottom there? Only 11.54%. So Ethereum's really not holding that well, considering it never even re-peaked. And I think a lot of that is due to the tech and how it's working right now. Look, it's on support, but there are some problems. I think this is a good one where you go line chart and then you maybe go into a daily and just see where the closes are. And then that will clean it up a lot for you, and see how around this level seems to be where the closures occur. If we actually go back over to the candles, you'll notice there's tons of wicks in here, but the body level is right there. And therefore, when you're talking about where does it sell off from, if it does pull back up here, usually it will be more likely to do it at the body level than the wick levels. So the body level than the wick levels in this case, because the wicks are all over the place, but the body's just continuously held up through this session. So very, very important that we always try to focus on that as much as we can. The body close is the key when we're doing our analysis. Big shout out and thank you to the already 1,000 people joining us here at 10:16. This is only 15 minutes in or something. That means you guys are really liking this stuff. Have you been happy since we've been doing this pretty much on the daily? It's thanks to your support, I guess, that I can do it. But yeah, look, I've been enjoying it. I hope to do this for the rest of the year as much as I can. Let's go over here to the weekly on ADA. So ETH is just at support. There's not much you can really say about that. For bears, just quickly, if it closes below here, yeah, it's going down really far. I actually think it could go back to the 1456, and that seems insane, but this is just how much of a shock could happen in the crypto world if BTC gets through 54,000 and has a closure point. Remember, just being under 54 is not enough. It must close on a 4-hour or an 8-hour underneath that area. ADA, guys, well, yeah, it closed under something I didn't like. I said yesterday 116 is going to trigger some selling. It then went down to 106. Strange place for it to pick back up, and it has done so. I actually could see this continuing down to 1 before it finds support, because this was all like a hype-based move due to the Coinbase situation. But yeah, look, it's ADA, no technical here. No technical here. I was looking for a 122 plus to signify I could then buy it back to the 147. Down here does not excite me. Yes, you've got a bullish rejection. Yes, you've got some bullish flow through here. You could probably go down to a 2-hour. If we go down to a 2-hour, you could argue if it goes and closes through here, then you can start taking it long. But what's the other problem? The left-hand side sucks. You've got support all over the place, which is going to act as resistance. It's a no-win situation for a trader. For an investor, for someone who wants to hodl this beast up, totally different scenario. But remember, trader and investor, which we do both on this channel, it's a different mentality. There's certain good trade levels, and then there's certain good investment levels. Always try to distinguish between those. This does look like it's basing, but it comes into problems straight away, which is going to be hard for a trader to take that kind of position. XRP, just quickly cover off on that one. It is continuing to pressure on the way up here. 2-hour, 20 moving average. Look at it. It's a little machine. Look at it go. 2-hour 20, buying all day long off that level at this stage. Still targeting 65, then targeting 75 on XRP as more information comes out about what's going on with the SEC stuff. But yeah, if it does come and close underneath this now, I think that will trigger the panic sell-off that usually happens on XRP. Be careful on this coin. We know it pumps and then it dumps. Look at 65 on the larger timeframes. Look at 75. Do your own analysis and then figure out whether you like those kind of levels. Like see 65 up here. Now, would I be taking it at 65? Probably a little bit earlier for me because I see those wicks at around that 63.8. I don't trust it enough, so I might portion off there. If it moves up to the 75, then I might portion off there as well. Mr. Albanese says, I love your drawings. Well, thank you very much. 7 a.m. here on the East Coast, says Brent. Thank you very much, Brent. When is 100,000 BTC? PK is impatient. PK wants it now. Jan says, I am tired of any more downside. Fair enough. Absolutely. No one likes the downside when they're long. But the reality of BTC is, even though you're maybe tired of the downside, we've got to think about how much upside there was. And just remember, like I told you guys yesterday, you can follow this one. the cycle, where you're at with the cycle, it does point to a really nice close at the end of the year. I mean, this stuff has happened before. It seems to be trajectorying very, very similar. You've got a decline that could happen, just like, because I ignore the 12 stuff. I ignore this price. This price is useless. It's pointless stuff. You won't see this. 1 second. Let me pull it across. How can I? Well, that doesn't work. No, that doesn't work. All right, reset that. No, I'll have to switch screens. 1 second. Okay, so I just wanted to mention this one more time. We're about here. In 16, we're about here. You could argue that the cycle's moving a little bit quicker this time due to its big pull-ups. So there could be one more that goes through. But the good news is for Bitcoin and anyone hodling, remember, up until December, historically has been incredibly strong for cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin. It's usually had that kind of peak or second peaking at around that point. So can 100,000 be achieved this cycle? I think it can. Can 200,000 be achieved this cycle? I think that's a bit crazy because it's more about market capitalization size. That's going to be the biggest problem for BTC this cycle. You need big money to get to 200,000 because that's a $4 trillion valuation. The only way you can get to $4 trillion is get lots and lots and lots of companies and funds to invest into the coin. They really need to, and it needs to be more than just Square and Tesla. It needs to be pretty much funds across the board taking allocation of Bitcoin as an alternative asset. Once that occurs, which I believe will be next cycle, it'll be epic. It'll be very, very cool. How old am I? Yeah, I'm in my 30s. Low 30s. Still young. That's what I like to tell myself. I got the gray hairs, guys. The gray hairs. I can't believe it. It was the worst when I found out that is true. I was getting a haircut the other day, and I said, "Do I have gray hair?" And the lady's like, "You do." I'm like, "No, don't tell me that." Must be the trading stress. Must be the trading stress. All right, let's go into some of the other points. Now, there was something that I was meant to answer before. What was it? Mama Ramsey, you are my morning show with coffee since finding you. Thank you so much, Mama Ramsey. Appreciate that one. Is Riot about to finally go up? I just want to have a quick look at Riot blockchain. 56 down 1.77. I mean, how can it really go up today when Bitcoin actually slid through after hours? It's reliant on Bitcoin price. So, yeah, I mean, 55, 1.8% down. BTC has to crack above something like 55, 56, 57, that kind of area. Why is oil down 4%? Because it ran like an absolute beast. This is our support line for oil. It's a good point. CCIV, is CCIV a pump and dump with the throwing up phase, says Tom. We'll have a look at CCIV. Look, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it has been pumped a bit. I saw a few. Whenever I see it spam on my YouTube, I know it's bad. I know that level is bad. We'll do GME and AMC soon. Don't worry, guys. Okay, yeah, oil is right back down to the support. We're now in make or break situation from a pretty good technical. So I think that oil has another cycle in it. I mentioned this yesterday. In fact, I'm going to bring it up because why not? Let me get this. I'll get this now, guys. Wait a second. Let me get out of there. Okay, I'm going to load this program up again and see if it actually loads for me correctly today. But yeah, oil could double bottom here. Support, resistance. If it breaks through here, the good thing is that's going to proof right back up there into the 65, 66 range. I like it a lot from that perspective, from a double bottom perspective. I don't know if I like buying it here so much. If you're buying stocks, it's a bit different because you're just buying for the longer term. Is it on a support? Yes. If it breaks under here though, there are significant ramifications. And that's because you're getting through the daily 50. And look how far away we are from the daily 20, from the weekly 20. It could go all the way back down to 55, and that would be a bit of a disaster, but it is very possible in this cyclical run right now. It looks like we've got this up, so let me load it. I just want to explain this to you guys. I said I would yesterday. $20, yeah. This is good stuff. This is fire, in my opinion. All right, here we go. I'll get rid of the sectors I don't care about. Which sectors do I not care about over the next decade that matter right now? I'll get rid of utilities for now. I'll get rid of real estate for now. And I'll get rid of that one for now. Okay, so here's some sectors, and this, you'll have to zoom your phones in on this one. But basically what I was saying yesterday was we are at this point right now. Look at this, April 2010. We have a very similar situation with the Fed, guys. Very similar situation across the board. Basically, we've got quantitative easing. We've got printing out of control. We've got very similar low interest rate style environments that are moving forward. We may not, I don't think we've got really hardcore inflation that's going to come through. I still think it's going to normalize to where the Fed wants it because we can look to Japan for that. So let's just consider for a moment that the next decade is incredibly similar to the GFC coming out of the disaster. Now, I'm not saying the returns are going to be the same because there are some problems here, but let's just consider for a moment that we're actually on the same trajectory. Financials have recovered nicely. Energy has recovered nicely. Now energy dips a little bit along with materials. Guess what's dipping right now? Exactly the same thing that happened last time. Materials and energy are dipping. We've got finance pulling back a little bit. At the same time, you had tech pulling back. Everything was dipping. But the rotation now is going back into tech because tech's going to be still one of the strongest sections in the next couple of years. So what I think happens after this is I think financials do nothing. I think financials are like this. They're like, yeah, you know, we've gone back to fair value. Goldman Sachs is like, we've stolen the money from the retail community. The retail community get less interested in trading. They've taken our money. They took our gerbs, as they say, and then they're back into, they've taken the GMEs and the AMCs by that stage or whatever they're going to do. And at that point, they're going to kind of like sit there and hover for a while. In fact, I don't believe they're investing in their companies enough to probably make good money in the next decade. So let's call it financials have returned back from value to fair value. They hover. Then we've got energy and materials, and both of these are dipping, and then they go into the last stage of their super cycle. Because remember, energy and materials have super cycles. We know this. Anyone that's invested for over 10 years, for 20 years, some of the guys out there that have been investing so long, I mean, just tell me now, guys, how long have you guys been investing in the stock market? Tell me how many years. We asked this the other day. How many years? Let me know. But I bet you we've got some veterans out there. I know we do. And they would have seen this all before. So we have a super cycle. That will end somewhere around, I'm thinking January, because we're sped up here a little bit. We're faster than before. Notice April. So we're faster than before. So any pullbacks right now, watch this screen. At, let's say January, at the end of this year, December, January, we hit the top of the energy. We've got the vaccinations out. Everyone's on cloud 9. Energy to the moon. You get I've always said the same thing. When they write an article that says energy, like oil to $100, it's over. No oil to $100. I hate those articles. They piss me off. Stupid oil to $100. I'm sorry. It's just, it could happen. Anything could happen, but I don't think so. I think that's going to be when it ends. So we're going to have the super cycle on energy, and we're going to have the super cycle on materials. Then after that, look at this horrible return for energy. Look at this. So it goes up a little bit more, and it looks like it's all good. But actually, you put that over time. Look at the energy. Look at the materials. It's horrible in comparison to the other sectors. It's just, it's nastiness. And the financials is like the lagging thing that probably won't come back through. So what then becomes the best sectors to look at in the market? Well, my argument is going to be things that can leverage off consumer discretionary. And you're probably like, Tom, consumer discretionary is up so much. Are you insane? Yeah, I could be insane, but I actually think consumer discretionary is going to go hyperactive because I don't want to invest in it. I'm not interested in it. But the reason why consumer discretionary is going to become so popular is because there is an excess amount of money in the markets. There is cheap interest rates that are going to be left there for years, causing the wealth effect as assets go up and they spend more. So things like Apple performed really well. Things like Amazon performed really well during this time. Those spending kind of companies that both have leverage in tech and they've got leverage in the other sectors. They've got leverage in things like consumer discretionary, just in terms of usual spending. So notice here how consumer discretionary just smokes everything. For multiple years through this run, consumer discretionary is crazy. And then it gets overtaken at the same time as the consumer discretionary goes, so does healthcare. And healthcare is a great opportunity. It's a very strong potential here in healthcare moving forward. And look at them go. Look at them fight each other. My God, look at the returns. Tech, healthcare, consumer discretionary to the sun. And then tech just completely destroys everything else. But yeah, healthcare, tech, industrials during certain parts, and materials and energy understand the super cycle. What do you guys think? That is as much as I'll be ranting about it today. Here we go. We've got some people with some big experience. Mouton Blank Farm says 45 years. Nope says Tom hates oil. Don't hate oil. I just like trading a cycle. I want everyone, I'm ranting because I want you to understand there are cycles in oil. I come from Australia. We have to love oil. It's the only way. 130 years, says the British trader. Value pump is ending today, says Harry. What about real estate? Will it be part of the rotation? Yeah, it always is. It always is. Real estate is actually good in that one as well at certain sections. 2 years stock, 5 years crypto, says Cheeky Monkey. Very cool. All right. Not sure if you guys agree with me on that one, but yeah, that is some of my thought process. I really, really, really feel pretty comfortable with that kind of process. Or, you know, longer term plan, should you say, from my opinion. Okay, let's have a look at some of the stocks. Let's go to AMC and GME. I can't leave you guys holding any longer. I know a few people are concerned here. I've had some messages. $11.90 for AMC, 4.72%. It's not the best. $11.90 is not great, but I expect you to find some buying pressure around 12 today. So yesterday I said, unfortunately, I think that it could go down here. Wait. Is that pre actually correct? Why is my pre saying 11.90? It's 11.90, yeah? I don't know what's going on with the pre. What's this pre? Yeah, 195. I think that's wrong. Yeah, 11.88. Okay, so I think this opens around 12. And I'm looking for GME to open around 200 again. I don't like yesterday's close. I don't like it. The problem with it is it closed under 200 and it did it with a red candle. So it means that I could see a pressure coming into the 173 today, and then hopefully buying pressure comes back through here. It must come through on the 173 for GME. Active versus passive says, I went through the dot-com boom 35 years. So active versus passive, do you feel that we're in a dot-com boom in most of the tech sectors this time? Let me know your opinion. I'll see if I can read it. It's 11.90. Good. Yeah, I thought it was. Okay, so 170. Well, not good, but yeah, I did think it was that level. 173 support. At this point here for GME, you have to find buying pressure, because the reality is that if it gets underneath there, oh, it's not good. I mean, it's never been good. It's never been good. Last time it crashed all the way down to like $90. The time before that, it had that 173-ish kind of hit, and then it sold back off to $90. And then if it gets under here again, it's going to have some flash crash. I really do feel like this level here is super important to hold. Now that it's closed under 194, I want to see 200 and hold in the first half an hour to 1 hour of trade today. 200 and hold, ideally. On the AMC side, could be okay, because I see us moving back up to the 12 pre-market, not holding down 4.4% like it is right now at 11.94. And then if it can hold 12 just for the first half an hour, 1 hour of trade, then we can start to get some sentiment back in. And I think not too many people on YouTube, too many people that discuss this thing, They just don't understand that this is all sentiment driven. I know there's fancy things going on here and now and all over the place, but the main thing that drives these is as the candles, as the positions hold levels, it creates a bias that's really strong, and then everyone piles in. And the breaking of the sentiment, which is some of the laws that are kind of changing to stop that, that's the key to really big success here in these positions. If they break the sentiment and they get it under levels, people panic and their fear shows. The algos get involved. The algos are nasty, and then those algos trade through it as well, and then the fear happens, and it's very fast and very quick. So let's hope $12 holds. It must hold today for AMC to stabilize and get back that sentiment. Nas pre-market green, woohoo, says Harry. Yeah, what? Oh, yeah, 0.21 now, 0.21. GME earnings might move this AMC. It's possible. It's possible. Taxi says, not advice. My opinions only, Taxi. Got to strategize long-term investments too. We can't put all our eggs in meme stock baskets. that is true. Lucas says, at FX Evolution, could you please take a look at Futu and Tiger? We'll try to have a look at Futu. I see a few things here. 4 years in stocks and options. No .com boom, Donkin Dave says. I closed my GME put. I think the hype train is too strong going into earnings. That's a good point, Amish. I think that earnings and the discussion around earnings creates a sentiment. That sentiment is strong. People have anticipation. I'm not sure exactly why, but fair enough. And then after that, you get the reality of the situation. And you're better off not probably gambling on that type of movement. You can't pick which way it goes. But yes, more likely that there is strength going into earnings and weakness potentially after that. Do you think the report on GME will give back sentiment catalyst? I think, Joel, yes, it can. If the report, I don't quite understand the report, and I've been trading for a while. The report cannot justify the price. So the report is just going to look sentimentally good, and people will be like, yes, I'm happy with this. Let's say it reports better earnings. I think that's actually a very bullish signal for the way that this trades, because people will see that as perceived, okay, let's get in, we like this stock, let's go. Does it really mean anything? Not really. It's just that sentiment drive, and it is holding for that reason. So the report is very, very important. Here we go, AMC, GME. That's kind of my thoughts for now. 12 must hold from a technical perspective, and 200 I would like to have hold for GME into the report. All right, let's go around to a couple other markets. So yesterday we had a Tesla trade, and you guys, the community, we knew together where it was going to go. We knew where the pump would go. We knew where the dump would go, most likely. So now we're sitting pre-market 675. We got very hyped and very, like, a lot of anticipation. Remember, pre-market yesterday was one of the better trades. It was only up 0.6% in the morning at the start of the pre-market. Sometimes it pays to be the early bird. And then after that, it was about 4.5% when it opened up here, and then it went straight into 700. You cannot tell me that this stock is not day traded hardcore. Relatively low volume. In fact, what was the volume yesterday? 39.51 million. Actually pretty bad. It's under the average volume for Tesla. And then it moved up to the 700, just couldn't find that consistent buyers. And then all the guys that were day trading it got out. And you can tell that because look at these last 45 minutes of trade. Everyone that was in the hype was like, oh, better take my profit. So Tesla's becoming not only an investable product, but it's been this way a long time due to its strong online following. It's actually a very interesting day trading kind of setup across the board. There's a lot of quality things that you can take advantage of. What do I think happens today? I think it recovers somewhat. 676 pre is okay. As long as it doesn't get under that 666, 660 area, again, we're feeling okay about this one. Sorry, guys, I'm just coughing there a little bit. But yeah, this zone, beautiful inverse head and shoulders. It's all about the 720, 700 and 720. 700 will remain one of the key levels. I don't know why Streamlabs does that, but that isn't actually that many people subscribing. It's just it's just going crazy. I turned it off too. It just does madness like that. $700 resistance for the first resistance. 720, the really key resistance, hard to break today and incredibly unlikely to break through that level. Harry says there were dark pool orders and Tesla around 699. Well, it was a clear level that people were going to short for sure. Like 700 makes so much sense to get around that area and stop just before that. When is Powell's next speech? Need to sell some stocks. Okay, so you can look that up. Use things like Forex Factory. It'll really help you out. Let me just quickly load this for you. Forexfactory.com. Powell is talking 12 my time. There he is. He's having his speech. I'm not sure if I can get the... Wait, no, it's 3 a.m. my time, sorry. He's testifying at 3 a.m. That was yesterday at 12. He didn't really do anything to the market, though, during that period. It didn't really move that much. So I would say that with Fed Chair Powell, he's testifying 3 a.m. my time. You can see down here, or you can't see it, 10:41 p.m. So about 4 hours away. Use forexfactory.com or another economic calendar and set it to your time. And then you'll be able to have it literally customized to you, and it's completely free, that type of thing. So Tesla looks all right. 676, today's target around the 699, 700 again. If it gets through there, look for the longer target of 720. And if it breaks through the resistance, it is very good for Tesla buyers. If it can get through 720, it's looking good. Massive donation coming in here from John S. Thank you so much. US $20. My shorts are killing it. We're in this together, Tom. Short oil, silver, Russell, and long treasuries with calls on TMF. Bought 130 calls at 23 and open till June. Check it out. All right, let's have a look at TMF. I'm glad you're doing well there. So you're actually shorting different sections of the market. That's really interesting. I like that one. This is 20-year Treasury Bulls. You love the 3Xs, John. You're always on these 3Xs, aren't you? So what are you doing here? You're looking at 130 calls at $23 on the open till June. Okay, let's have a look. 1 week. $130 calls. Am I on the right thing? Yeah, you said TMF. Oh, you bought 130 calls at 23. Sorry, yeah. Okay, no worries. Yeah, I mean, you're basically catching it at the correct technical level if you wanted to catch it at the correct technical level. These around this zone has been previous kind of resistances throughout the whole fall. You are catching the falling knife, there's no doubt. So you're catching a pretty steep decline. When you're talking about catching steep declines, one of the... that's so steep. Let's go to the 4 hour. Who said bonds were safe? Let's go to... Do we have a trend line? So we probably have to go a very extravagant trend line here. Probably like a 1 hour trend line, movement down, trend line. Yeah, okay, you're coming up to a key critical. So what I would like to have happen for you is you need it to bull here and now, and you obviously are worried a little bit about the 23, which is where your call's at. If it closes above 23, you've really stopped this declining series of lower peaks. See how they go through those peaks multiple times? So resistance, resistance, resistance. Now we're at resistance. If you can get through this level, then you move up to the 23 and close above that. You're really breaking what was a very impressive downtrend. I see what you're doing here, and because you probably traded the markets for a longer time, you understand that you're making a more informed decision using calls, which of course are a asset that you can really manage your risk with, which is good. And then you're moving towards probably like the 24, 25 or even more bracket. There's a lot of room on this if it reprices. So go to the weekly again, look at how much room there could be on this position. Now you're doing a 3 times leverage. I think probably around 30 is quite achievable, but you may have problems at 26. Probably there is where you're looking from a technical perspective. I think that will be your first major point of call. Look to the trend line, John, and good luck in your oil shorts and silver and Russell and everything else you're doing. Very interesting you're going against it. Hey man, great stream. Any opinion on Virgin Galactic? I do have an opinion on that, Mark, and I will be sharing it with you and the community very, very soon. Hey Tom, thoughts on the XGO being Chop City, says Paul Pham. It is Chop City, terrible Chop City. It's because of the sectors underneath it. I'll have a look just to show people the problem with what I believe is going to happen with the S&P 500 over the next decade, and why you're going to actually see lower returns in the S&P when compared to the Nasdaq. So the problem is this: Australian market, or S&P 500, has a huge amount of companies in it. This one has 200, and the S&P 500 is 500 companies. I said this yesterday, you're going to have a rotation due to this pandemic situation where certain companies are going to get kicked out or at least reduced over time, and they're going to get rotated into by newer companies, or market share is going to switch. Now, if you have, let's say, 200 companies declining in the S&P 500, and you've got 60 companies declining in the ASX 200, just generally not performing as well as the other sectors, they're going to really hurt your overall gains. And that's why the ASX 200 is Chop City. It is impossible to read because we have lots of old companies, lots of oil, lots of materials, lots of financials. We have very little tech. So when tech rotates in or out, we get affected a lot less. And that's why our market didn't really go down much. But now that you're seeing value getting a little bit rotated out and materials coming down and energy coming down, we're getting hurt by it. Look, with the ASX 200, you really have to go to the 4-hour chart and you have to draw two lines. One is 66.72. Don't ask me why it's that particular level, but it is. And the other one is going to be 6,600 flat. And 6,600 flat must hold under all circumstances for the ASX. On the top side, 6,900. And when you break that, 7,000 is pretty much confirmed. And we keep moving through. Look also at 68.58, another level. It's Chop City in here. And that's why I'm mostly covering the S&P 500. Very important. What do you guys think? Do you reckon the S&P will underperform the Nasdaq over the next decade? Yes or no? Tell me. What do you guys think? Depends what you're trying to do, JT Raj. It depends what you're trying to do about brokers. There's a lot of new stuff, and hopefully I'll be able to share some of that with you on the stream moving forward. Dav G, $6 Australian. Thank you so much. Long time stalker. Sounds a bit scary there, Dav. Love your work. Thank you so much. Learning a lot. Keen for your views on GLN Gallon Lithium listed on the ASX. Okay, we'll do that in just one moment. Thank you so much for the donation. Just to recap again, we have got strong US dollar coming into this session. This is probably the major thing that everyone's looking at today. Look for the close. I'll be doing a video on it. If you're new here, subscribe, guys. Help support the channel. We're growing every single day thanks to you guys, the community. And get those likes up there because I'm ready for some hype. Let's get up to 500 if we can. Dollar index, very important. Bitcoin, all about the 54,000. Look at the 4-hour close there. And if it can hold that zone. US 100 NAS is up. I'm thinking it's all green, all good at this stage. And we're moving towards the 13,300. It seems like this is the way. This is the way that the market wants to go. At least go and test the 13,300 and we'll really put pressure on the next levels. It's such an important zone. Shire says tech is the future, it would seem. QQQ over the SPY, says Mike. What's your call for the tech sector coming up? I think it's going to go well, but I do think materials and energy by the end of the year will be outpacing tech again. I know that sounds insane. And then tech will come into its own over the next couple of years because it repriced a lot during the pandemic very quickly. Nasdaq will outperform. Innovation is where it's at, says Donkin Dave. Do BHP and Rio. Well, Rio's right on support there. Keep life simple. Rio is right on support. That's an iron ore company, by the way. What is going to happen with ADA US dollar tether? I will check it out. Are those Magic the Gathering land cards behind you? Come on, would I have lands? Unless they're jewels, I wouldn't have no lands. I think I've got a jewel somewhere. Where have I got one? Here we go. There we go. There's a jewel. See, I do have them. I don't know why I have it down there, but anyway, no, that's a sheet. That's a sheet of cards. I like all collectibles. I'll one day on a boring day, I'll tell you about how I collect in the market. It's actually the same kind of strategy, just way more basic than stock trading. Let's now do that donation there for Dab G. Thank you so much for the $5. And then I've got to do that Virgin Galactic. This is GLN, Galan Lithium. Lithium companies are pretty interesting in Australia. A lot of people like trading these on some of the forums. Let's go through what has happened here. So I think this is a classic case of you've hit your major key resistance. Now, see how it didn't quite get to the top? In the future, what I would do, and this is just my opinion, if I get a wicks, multiple wicks, I'd do that. But I actually like going towards the close level, or I take the middle of the top to the close. So you could actually take this little bit of range. So the range here, when you're looking at pennies and you're trying to figure out where my profit is going to be, look at the psychological numbers. These ones make 0 sense. I mean, why is it stopped at 62 or 65? I have no idea. And then you pull that across and you go right into the middle of that range. And that would be usually the target that I would pick for. And I didn't know it was going to hit that perfect. But yeah, 65. But would you take 65? No, you would take like 64 and a half. Watch the lines around there. 65 and a half is just too weird. That's usually the way that I select it, and I like more to go towards the bodies. Now, what's happening here? Big reprice coming through in November after, I guess, the Biden victory. Looked good for EV sector. Everyone went crazy, and then it went up. Moved out of... that's good. That's good. You've got good movement here. Even though it's bearish twice, the hold above 50 is very important for you, because you've actually created structure down here. You've created lots and lots and lots of price action structure. You've formed a base at the previous resistance being 42.5. You've gotten through the 50 cents, which you know was previous support. Now, when it comes down, I expect a bounce off 50, and then we can move back up probably now to the 65. So it does look good. The structure looks good. It hit the resistance, which makes sense, but then it's coming back down. I expect a 50 bounce, and then hopefully you get the continued movement through to your 64.5. Dav, appreciate the donation. Triple T Rocks, $5. TCAT has been going crazy. Thoughts on and how you feel about NFTs in general? Okay, I'll give you my opinion on NFTs. I think it is a relatively new kind of market. Power 5, that wasn't Power 5. That was a crappy one. I don't have no Power 9 anymore. I used to. Okay, let's look at Virgin Galactic. We got a question about that, and I think it brings up a great discussion we had in the private community. By the way, if anyone is interested in doing our technical analysis courses, I don't plug them that much here. Some people don't even know we have a course. We wrote a course which really covers our 12 years of experience. We have a 10-year sale. We've been running FX Evolution for 10 years, if you can believe it, and the link is in the description above. It's 50% off. If you're interested in joining us, there is no better time than now to give it a crack. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, 32 for Virgin. So my thought process here, and it's got nothing to do with whether I think this company's worth that much. It's got purely to do with Cathie Wood and ARK, is that we have the potential for ARK to get rotated in onto space. So remember, they've had a space fund before. It's actually in another country. They are thinking about, and part of the reason this hype occurred in the first place, making a fund. Now, if they make a space fund, what is most likely going to be put in that? One of these stocks. This stock maybe specifically. Do you have to sit on it for some time? Sure. But this is the forward-thinking, big brain mentality that we have as a community here. We've got big brains, and we're ready to use them. So can we possibly sit in this for quite a while? Yeah. What's our worst case scenario? Well, it's always 0. But there's a good chance that it finds support like last time around 25, 29, 30, all this area here, there could be some support. So if you like the idea or the concept and you come up with your own kind of mentality behind this, what could happen is that we might be sitting in this, and then one day you hear ARK announces they're going to bring out the space thing. Okay, the space ETF, perfect. They announced that. This is most likely going to be included. You see that initial hype, and then hype crescendos into the fund. Then you bail. Because I don't believe that space stock is going to be able to really turn a profit for the next couple of years. It's going to be a little while away, and the market is, like you might say, okay, weed stocks are going to make money. Look at weed stock history. The market is impatient. It wants earnings and it wants them now. The only stock I can think of that really has run the gauntlet without making much money for a long period has been Tesla. But Tesla is more than just the cars, as we know. Thank you so much to the 1,600 viewers in the community right now. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully you guys are subscribing. Do you think that the thumbnail is okay to go, guys? Is it okay? Hopefully it's all right and gets a few more people in here. Got to get rid of that Wall Street Bets image. We can't be doing that forever. Jake Bean says 1,500 people watching and only 300 likes. That is weak. That is right, Jake. We need to get to 500 likes. We do. Check out the Owling falling wedge on APHA. Can give a few bucks, Krunal says. I'll check it out. Triple T Rocks, US5, TCAT. Let's have a look. TCAT. Art company. What do you guys think about that space idea? This is insane. 16.29%, $57. 552 million. So it was basically worth nothing. It's like 50 million and it's just become the king of all pumps. Yeah, that is crazy. What is your question about this? This is the NFT. How do you feel about them? Okay. I feel good and I feel bad. So I feel good about their long-term prospects. I feel bad about their current pricing and current hype. The reality is 90% of them are going to be worth nothing. It's kind of like collections. If you bought comic books, if anyone's old and they remember comic books in the 90s, everyone collected comic books. Hey, I'm going to go buy 500 comic books, 700 of these baseball cards and basketball cards. They're going to be future collectibles. It's all amazing. Let's get in. Every single time this has happened, 90% of them, it's gone. Goodbye, chuck that away. It's not worth anything. However, some do survive. And what you want to do is, this is a non-matured market. And this is just my opinion. You can absolutely disagree with me. This is just, again, my thoughts on this. I think, look, there could be even more runs. I don't know where it stops. But I do think that in the future, you will have a decline through this sector, and then you'll have a pickup. And it will kind of go the same way as Bitcoin. Bitcoin went up. Bitcoin went down and crashed. Bitcoin then went up more. Bitcoin went down and crashed. Bitcoin went up more. And the next Bitcoin cycle will be the one that it truly matures. You're not going to make 7x on your money anymore, but it's going to be a matured market. It's going to be a matured market. So my thoughts on this from a TA perspective, let's find a moving average that it is following. Is it even following one? I don't even know. 30 minutes. I've never even used a 30-minute 20, but hey, it bounced twice off it. Look, it's super high. Pre-market 56.98. The 20 EMA will come along for the ride. Wait until it either blows off, which is kind of like that type of thing, really, but it has to maybe then close underneath the 30-minute 20 exponential. It's really wild, this one. But I don't feel it will hold this up. And I'm prepared to go in on that one. So I will leave this over here for some time. And we will revisit it as a community over the next year. And I will check this out. I did the same thing with Remember Snowflake. When I first started streaming here, I said, you're all mad. I hate the Snowflake. Well, I like the company a lot. But this was stupid. Okay? That's dumb. That's where dumb people enter the market. All people that haven't experienced pain train yet. But when you get in here, that is unfortunately not the place that we want to be entering, because we're smart people here. We're going to improve all the time. And look, I've made the same mistake. I've gotten into the hype. Now it's down here on the same point that it really launched at. And I actually could expect it to go even, it's a good company, so it's hard to say, can it go much lower? But it could go a little bit lower. And if it does, then we start to put pressure back down and get the valuation correct. It's kind of like what happened to Snapchat, what happened to Twitter, what happened to Facebook, what happened to all these companies when they first IPO. They go up hard and then they crash, and then 12 to 18 months later, we come in and we get into those communities. So that's my thought on NFT. It's a little bit too early. What do you guys think? I don't know. Arthur Brown, NFTs on MTG artwork, we need it. I totally agree, Arthur. That would be crazy. And I would get in 12 to 18 months' time. Tom should stream Legacy. I get my ass kicked in Legacy. Course is awesome, says Wayne. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Eka Aurora, Singapore, $5. Tom, even with disruption in energy sector happening, why do you see core energy company stocks to outperform over the next few months? Because it can't happen like this. It takes time. Energy has been bashed. Let's have a look at one of them. Let's have a look at ZOM. Look at Exxon, okay? Exxon. Look at the price. Pre-market, 54.80, okay? You go over to the monthly and you consider, look, why did it sell here? Well, it makes some sense. We're getting back up to some areas here that are very important. But the reason I think it outperforms is because I think it'll have one last normalization in it as we go through past the vaccinations, similar to what happened last time. We've got materials dropping at the same time energy is dropping. That happened last time after the GFC at the exact same time of year. Then we have that last spurt in the super cycle where we expect silver to go up. We expect minerals to go up. We also expect iron ore to continue kind of driving as governments purchase all this stuff. There will be one last hype, I believe, and then it will be disrupted. So my thoughts are the only reason I'm saying that is because it happened last time. And while I don't believe in it longer term, that's just my thought process. I do think there's one more time that this can go through. Unfortunately, for now, though, the decline is coming into some of these stocks. XOM is no exception. Lucic says, good morning, Tom. I got a little late. Can you cover NEO? Tesla is up, but NEO is lagging today. We certainly will cover both a little bit later, and we already have covered Tesla. The Jasta Show, US $4.99. Morning, can we have a look at VGAC? Certainly can do. NFTs are a fad only, says Donkin Dave. Don't think they're a fad. I think they've got real ability to be very successful, but I just think it's too early. The internet was too early for itself. If the tech boom, like you can tell it's too early usually when every single NFT is worth something or every single thing is worth something. Back in 17, every crypto, I swear I was picking cryptos, guys, based on their website presentation. So if they had a good quality website, I was buying it. Now, that is ridiculous. I actually use that as a strategy for buying crypto. If the website looked good and it had beautiful icons and stuff, it was actually purchasable back in 17 and it went to the moon and you wanted to run for the hills. But that's the sad thing about a market that is not mature yet. That's what happens. Guess what? I don't even know what those coins were called. But they had good looking websites. Same as like, here we go, Chronically Sam says, it's like the same as expensive handbags or collecting shoes for status and as a flex. Yeah, it's kind of like having Rolex watches, Hermes bags, etc. Let's go back up here. People getting into this one. The community is got some opinions here. VGAC, which is good. I think it's important we all do have opinions. VGAC, whoa. No. Why did that go up so much and then down? This is a financial conglomerate. It's down relatively hard weekly. Okay, maybe forming some base daily. Pre-market 1045. What to say about this? What to say about this? I mean, yeah, maybe base has been formed. Maybe. It's not really a strong technical. I don't even like these little weird things. Little rejection candles there showing the bulls just can't get control of it. Look, this type of stock is the kind of one where I come back in the future and I say, okay, I'm going to set an alert up here and I'm just not interested in it until it breaks through. Because it could sit here like this. And then you're looking in 7 months time and you're thinking, damn, I could have bought Apple. Could have bought Square. I could have bought TDOC. I could have bought all these stocks. I could have bought Bitcoin at, I don't know what price it'll be. But the reason is you don't want to have your money sitting for too long sometimes. And all this is doing is holding support. So keep watching it. Hopefully it holds this area for you. But I want to have it through that 1180 area. Once that happens, then you can get back into the hype of whatever's going on here. Support has been found for me right now, and I do wish you the best on it. I hope you have a lot of success. TCAT is an NFT, so it might last. Yeah, it could last. Some people saying it's junk. Some people saying it's good. NFT hype, says Nizan. I'm probably getting a few dislikes here, but that's all right. TCAT is the pump and the dump, says Kevin. Join the dark side and trade TCAT with me. Darth Sidious. That's got to be Sid. I like your new name, Darth Sidious. That's a good one, Darth Sidious. I like that. PLL halted anything? We'll have a look at that one. Live without please, no all caps. Oh, okay, that was something else. We've got a new member joining the community. Triple T Rocks, welcome to the Diamond Hands community. Thank you so much for joining and supporting me and I guess the business as well. I appreciate that. New market equals lots of scams, pump and dump hypes. Correct. New market equals BitConnect. Remember Carlos? BitConnect. Do we have NFT BitConnect yet? Do we have NFT BitConnect? Dustin Cornett, US $2. VGAC is merging with Gores Holdings. Oh, okay. Why is the price not doing much there, Dustin? Gores Holdings. It's like a merge that doesn't seem to be moving much of either market. This one's got more of a TA potential here. Have we gone through lows? Probably stretching a little bit to get it through that. That's maybe me curve fitting, I think. I think that's me curve fitting. Yeah, not sure if I like that one too much. Resistance gets broken. That would be strong up to the 17 and then movement through. Like, these aren't my favorite kind of TA sessions. That's not my favorite kind of thing. But yeah, interesting information. Thank you so much, Dustin, for that. Arthur Brown says it's been over 10 years since virtual real estate was a thing in online games. NFT doesn't seem too much of a stretch. Is that virtual real estate still worth anything in those games? NFT is not a stretch. I'm just wondering if that virtual real estate's worth anything. They used to sell it for like millions of dollars on Utopia or something like that. ETH, US dollar tether, 1700. Look, there's nothing wrong with ETH right now. We just need a breakthrough here, and then we move to the 1750 and into that kind of 17. All this is a hideous zone for it though. Now that it got below, this area sucks. I like that it bounced. So the 2 hour here bounced, and now it's going towards here. For today's session, you want it to break through here. Then it moves up to like the 1750. Probably find some resistance there, and Bitcoin will also be moving in a very similar direction. I'm trading ETH kind of like, where's BTC right now? And wherever BTC is, if it's at support and I like the ETH chart more, then I'll use the ETH chart. If I like the BTC chart more, I'll use the BTC. It's a very similar kind of percentage return. But yeah, ETH's holding, and it's holding the correct level, which is the last lows, the resistance, and the resistance structure through here. Terry Chow, NT, $75. Not sure how much that is, but thank you very much there, Terry. Hi, Tom. What do you think of Mara? So Mara is kind of like the other Bitcoin-y kind of one that you rely on Bitcoin quite a lot. But Mara seems to be either better set up or holds a lot better to Bitcoin. You'll notice compared to Riot, it is much stronger. Every single time Bitcoin moves, Mara seems to hold better. Look, there's not much structure in here. I was talking about this level, $40, but it's been up and down and all around with some pretty large, crazy movements. Maybe this 20 exponential, like today, we want to see a bounce again. The 50 bounced. There's just not that much clear structure. It's up and down all over the place because it's really reliant on Bitcoin. All I would have is if it continues to hold in at least a box structure above that 50 exponential on the 4 hour, then you can still be bullish on it. But just check Bitcoin price. If Bitcoin price cracks under 54,000, gets to close on a significant time frame, then we're in for some trouble. I could see that being the real problem that leads to some further selling pressure. Flaming Dude says, I mean, with how the world is getting messed up, I wouldn't be surprised if VR real estate becomes a thing. Like virtual reality, you own the real estate and you just live in a box, and then you're just like, oh, I live in this beautiful house. That's creepy, isn't it? I could see this. Chronically Sam brings up a good point. To be honest, just waiting for a world where virtual houses filled with virtual art and collectibles and charge people to go through them as virtual art exhibitions. That's some super in-depth thing. It's possible, isn't it? It's pretty It's pretty interesting. Dustin Cornett coming back with the US $2 donation. Thank you. Don't happen for like a month or so. So that's got to do with the VGAC merging with Gauze. It's going to be a little while away, which would explain why it's going to take some time. Another donation coming in from Nonfiction for Life, US $4.99. How about NVAX? We'll do that in just a few moments. Thank you very much for the donation. Let's have a look around the actual markets again. So 13,093 for the NAS. It looks like it's going to be a bullish day so far. You're going to have to watch the close for the dollar index a little bit. It's trading at 92.13. We'll go through that throughout the session. And then we've got movement up to the 13,300 possible for the NAS today. So once you break through this peak here, which is the price of 13,200-ish, then we can move towards 13.3. Thanks so much to the guys out there as well. 1,700 people joining us pre-market. We are still 1 hour 15 or 1 hour 18 minutes away from the open, and it's certainly going to be an interesting week. We do have Jerome testifying today. Watch the NAS. The NAS is the key zones. 13,300 close above. We'll be making videos on this channel talking about where we expect the next zones to be if it can occur. Other things that are making waves, Tesla moving slightly up here pre 674. And I must admit, I'm a little bit disappointed in Tesla's pre-market action and price action recently. It isn't showing the same bullish strength it was a few weeks ago with that big 20% initial hype train. Maybe there is some problems here from maybe what Wall Street's trying to do or a valuation perspective. I'm not exactly sure. Let's go across to 720 and 700. So for today's session, you're looking at the 700. For maybe the next couple of sessions, 720. If you break above those, it's very, very bullish and it's looking good. BTC 55,000. This is a good move here. Let's go down the 2 hour, getting further and further up, depressing that 55.2 zone. We get a closure above that, then we can move back into the 56.5 area, which will push ETH as well to 1750 plus if that happens. Dollar index, as I mentioned, it is looking relatively bullish, right at resistance coming into the market open. Check out the daily here. Look at that rejection followed by instant testing, and look, it just took out everyone's stop losses. All the poor dollar index shorters just got smacked, and that is what happens. All right, Nonfiction for Life. Let's have a look at NVAX. And then we'll go over the pre-market biggest movers and shakers. Pre-238 here for NVAX. 0.46% up. 3.92% yesterday. Is the chart good? Weekly off support. Nice. Weekly off support. Okay, it's not too bad. Daily looks all right. We need to go down into the smaller time frames here. 4 hour, okay. 2050 cross. Slight movement up across this, and there was some structure there. It's actually looking pretty good. There's no bearish signals here at all at this stage. 260 will be your target, I feel. Some problems maybe at the 250-ish area. And the only reason I say that is because it's a wick, a body wick, and it's, what is this, 250, yeah. So 250, 260, that zone's a problem. And then after that, you can move all the way back up to pretty much a very, very nice level, like maybe back up to the 320. Yeah, I mean, the right kind of consolidation, 250, something like this. And then we move up and through. NVAX looks fine. There's no bad stuff about this. This structural here, the structural presence is just really good. So non-fiction for life, if you're in this one, yeah, I mean, looks all right. Looks all right. PLTR will keep going down. What are your thoughts, says Vanny? I think PLTR will have to prove itself a little bit. It is losing steam considering the community. I usually go to certain websites to find out how hype train everyone is on stuff. We'll do that together now. Not FinTwit. What am I doing? 1 second. I'll load it up. Not FinTwit. Stock Twits. Rankings. If you have never done this, you can go here and you can see how things are trending. New ones are trending today that haven't been like the others. So AMC is trending AA, BB, Asia Broadband. PLTR is not in here anymore, okay? And that was always in here in the most active. Over here as well, it is not there. So you see it's Upstarts, all these others. So when they're here, they can hold up very, very strong. I actually think PLTR's base is pretty good around 22.60. There seems to be a lot of buying pressure that comes into this stock at these levels. So I feel okay about it. Mr. Charlie 0225. Is anyone from the UK trading crypto? How will you continue to do it at the end of the month? Well, hopefully someone can answer that for you, Mr. Charlie. Probably not me. Young Kim is not happy. That's all right, young Kim. No worries there. Have we caught up? Tom, have you had a look at ADA? Certainly have. It's back a little while ago. Mushroom Cap says, Tom, GM. You love GM, Mushroom Cap. We'll see if we get time. Dollar bullish this morning? Certainly is. Let's have a quick look at Apple as well. So Apple has its, I think, announcement today talking about all of their great new iPads that are probably going to come out. Look, I think Apple is actually presenting a relatively strong case for bull case. It is a huge part of the Nasdaq. As we know, it makes up like 10% of the Nas. There's a lot of strength behind this one. There's also a lot of strength that could be behind Microsoft as well. Microsoft may not even be pricing in some of the other things they're doing, like buying potentially Discord. I don't know if that's confirmed. The Bethesda purchase, the movement in Xbox. I've seen a lot of positive action there towards Xbox recently. 236. Yeah, look, it's looking okay. It's going to be a slower one. It's probably less trade and more you want to look at it from your fundamental investment perspective. But all of these stocks are starting to look like they're trying to move back up as the Nasdaq moves through the 13,300. So if you're interested in these for the next couple of years, you know, that 230 on Microsoft, the 120 on Apple, even the current price, they're interesting zones for you to be paying attention to. Let's answer Andrew's question here. Andrew Dursky, $4.99. Sorry if someone has already asked, I'm late, but thoughts on JFIN. Is it going to continue to rip today or not? Let's have a look at JFIN. This is the coin, I assume. Are you talking about the coin? I need to know which one it is. I'll go on my Discord. Please message and... Brian Gillard says, I never got my link for the private Discord channel. Can you help? You should see it, Brian. If you're a Diamond Hands or your day trader status area, you should see it instantly in the comment section. Feel free to come into the public Discord and message me and we'll sort it out. It'll be okay. So Andrew, please message me with which one you're looking at here. I don't know which one it is. Lee, $6 Australian. Tom, could you please provide your views on the uranium sector and look at BOE, uranium miner, ASX? Sure, we can do that. Let's have a look. So uranium sector stock. Let's go to the daily. Go to the weekly. This one's moved up quite nicely. Hasn't been here for some time. Uranium. 305 million market cap here. Look, there's cases to be made that it will be used. I think from a TA, I'll probably just go TA perspective on this one because I don't really know too much about how strong it's going to be over the next decade. It's following the 20 moving average on the way up here. It looks like it doesn't trade much volume, which is a big problem. The average volume is quite low here. And if it moves back down to the 15, then as long as it holds this 20 moving average moving forward, you should be able to continue your movement up. In terms of technical analysis, where do you target? What level do you target? All those types of things. Just before 20 is your target. So around 19.5. You see that instantly here, instantly with the support. If you're in this type of thing, you've got to pay a lot of attention to this level, which is the 20 cents and probably like a 19.5, or get your lines in early if you're interested in that, because this trend has been very aggressive and you wouldn't want it all to go down. So watch on the daily, but I can't give you my thoughts on uranium moving forward. UFO Believer, US $5. Tom, have you ever applied the Ty Wickoff method to your TA? Not really. I haven't. I like to kind of stick to what makes sense to me. And some of the things that make sense to me is human psychology. And really, when you're reading price action, you notice I don't go much past volume. I know all the indicators. Look, I've used them all. I've used pivots. Sometimes I bring pivots in. I've used RSI a lot, MACD a lot, stochastic a lot. They have a time and place for a certain trading style. That trading style is more like scalping, more like day trading. If you want to use indicators, you can, but they're usually lagging price. So I find price is the best lead indicator, and that's why I prefer just to use the kind of standard systems I've got there. Thanks so much for the donation, but yeah, I don't use that. I don't use Hikinashi. Not so much. Tom Siracasano, US $5. Morning, Tom. Thoughts on MRKR? We'll have a look at that in just a few seconds as well. No worries. It's the stock, not the coin. Oh, Andrew gave me another US 199 to tell me that's the stock. Okay, good. GAYIN. Okay. Yeah, that is pretty wild. I see what you mean. 78% yesterday. Will it continue is your question. Will it continue? Strong close. Okay, 4 hour closed above. Closes are important. Closes are important because it shows sentiment. So the good news is that you have a barrier for declining, and that should be somewhere around the $12.20, $12.30. The bad news is you hit $15 basically. So if it is going to continue, there could be some barriers around 15. Was there any at 10 though? There really wasn't. It just got straight through. Yeah, I mean, as far as the pumps go that could become super dumps, it looks all right. Market capitalization is 205 million, so not very big. What I would be doing on this is, well, firstly, I would probably target there. You know it pump dumps because it's happened before, so you gotta be very careful. What is this? That is insane. Where'd it go last time? 29.53. Closure above. It's complete guess, dude. Complete guess. I probably think you target slightly under 19. I wonder what happened over here. Let me see if I can break that down to a 1 hour. $15 sold. It busted 20 like a beast and then went 29.58, just stopping before 30. Oh, could it hit 30 again? I'm not sure. Hey, I am not sure. Everything points to the closure was all good. But yeah, pre-market 8.47. Watch the first half an hour of trade. Hopefully if it bounces down, it finds support around 12.50 and then moves back up. And look, I wish you all the best. 19.50 might be a struggle. $15 in general could be a sell-off point early. And then if it gets through that 19.20 barrier, you know where it's going, 29 something. So good luck there, Andrew. Thoughts on MRKR. Okay, let's have a look. Market Therapeutics. Weekly. Another gap up. 18% yesterday on this. Two gaps. Two really big gaps. So you got into this one, Tom, because you were talking about this last week about the approval, yeah? Nice. I'm sure you're glad you took it. So it busted through the first resistance, which is 266. Then it went to 329. I feel like it hit the targets I would have been going for. Probably was scaled out partially. Well, you wouldn't even had to scale out partially here because it gapped above. That's the beauty sometimes when it gaps above. I feel like it hit the level that I would have been happy with. You would have probably been going for 350. 278. Is it over? Probably not over. But yeah, watch 265. So today it's opening at 278. It might go down to 265. Hopefully it's met by buying pressure after it fills that gap close and then it moves on up. I'm not sure how good the news is for it. So you need to check the news as well. But yeah, this 320 area, it's going to be important. Thanks so much to the 1,775 people joining us. We are 1 hour away from the open. Let's have a look at what the actual market's doing before we go and answer any more questions. Let's have a look at the US 100. We're up 0.13%. Our target for today is probably going to be a movement up, and that movement up will be triggered by certain key levels. Let's have a look at the 2 hour to get those key levels. Key horizontal resistances are going to be around that 13,170 area. Once that is broken through, if we can achieve that, then we can move onwards to the 13,300, and that's going to be the strong resistance for any new sessions moving forward. Jerome is talking at about 3 a.m. my time, which is about 2.5 hours into the market. That's Jerome Powell. It's probably going to have some impact on the situation. You can note that because the dollar index is really fighting resistance. It's right at the point that you would expect it to. Look at 10-year treasuries as well. That's going to be important. So look up US 10 years, whatever they're doing. Oops. US 10 years, whatever they are doing will move the markets. 1.65. That's okay. No worries there. In terms of big moves, let's have a look at the AMC GME situation. GameStop actually up 196 pre-market 0.78 in anticipation and hype. I expect it to hold into the earnings, and then we'll have to find out what goes on there. Tilray down 2%, and then we've got down, where are we? So I do Afria before. Where's my AMC? There it is, down 5.44%. I would like to see a $12 initial open somewhere around there. We've still got an hour. Let's see if we can get back to 12 and hold that area or that zone. On the screeners, pre-market 1.76%. Snowflake up 1.35. Mostly tech. Tesla 0.75 up. Not that strong in the pre. Baidu, Crown Castle, random companies across the board here. They're all big ones. Boeing, Caterpillar, JP Morgan, banks. The rotation out of some of the other sectors and into tech is still occurring. Johnny Sins City, US $5. Thank you so much, Johnny. Tom, what are your thoughts on Funko, FNKO? Talks of NFT distribution, but I don't know much about them other than they made Mando toys, lol. Oh, you mean Funko Pops? Is this the Funko Pops business? NFT distribution. Hey, it would make a ton of sense in this business. Is this the Funko Pop company? I've never traded it. What a fad that was. It's still pretty popular though. Yeah, so they make most toys, all these little wet plastic toys and stuff. Yeah, they make a lot of sense for NFT hype. I like that idea, like NFTs and Funko Pops. It makes so much sense. It's like a match made in Neopet heaven, if anyone remembers Neopets. $17 on the pre-market here. Look, would I trade this kind of concept? I've got better things, I think, like better concepts. But yeah, look, the 20 moving average instantly brings my mind at ease. This has been a very strong trend. It's pulling down. It's up pre-market at 1709, but maybe we can move back down after that initial hype and hit like a 1560-ish area. If we achieve that, then we could pull back off that and start moving back up. Also, notice it sold just before 20, so it means it's trading kind of retail-y. Let's go to a weekly. Targets here would be 25 and then probably 30. So 25 and 30 if you were going to hold it for that type of hype train. It makes sense there, Johnny. Making Mando toys. Yeah, they make good money, but I guess the PE probably wouldn't make that much sense. It's just a hype trade, and you've got to be in and out like that, man. So keep on top of it and keep doing as much research as you can. Bradley back US $5. CDZI fell off yesterday, but it has a history of showing quick recoveries. Good for swing. CDZI. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Cadiz. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Yes. It does have a history. It has a lot of history with some random stuff, doesn't it? This chart has me excited for the support, but I will note something, and that is that this is the second time it's gotten down here without finding instant buying pressure. So see, it has the wick. There's a wick here. It was a bit more meandering, and then it found it. Wick, and now we're back at this level. Oh, it's a tough one. You're right. No lies. You are correct. You are up at the exact point where it continuously bounced off this, which I think is good analysis. I'm a little concerned that this whole way through, it's been failing to make any real higher highs. Now, that trend line's useless, but what I'm trying to really show everybody is that this is a series of lower peaks coming through, which is constantly signaling to me, yes, it's rallying, but each time it's rallying, it's crapper, it's weaker, it's not moving through as strong as I would like to have. So I would like a bounce off this level. Is it worth getting into for a swing trade? You've got to ask yourself if you're prepared to cut something that loses. So what I mean by that is we haven't had an actual close candle, let's say, under this price. No close candle under this price. So if you bought the dip and it closed under that price, would you continue holding it? If your answer is yes, I would continue holding it. It's probably not the trade for you because you can get into some bad problems with it returning back down under here. Now, if you're saying, okay, I'd be ready to cut and run because I'm looking at buying it here and I'm looking at taking it back to $11, then you're answering the question of, is the risk reward worth it to you? And you can make your next decision. So yes, it's bounced a few times. I don't blame you for looking at it, but I do think you've got to have a plan. Are you prepared to let it go and then have a fixed risk that you trade on it, Bradley? Thanks for bringing that to the community's attention. Interesting. Oh, Elizabeth said there is no Apple announcement. Is that true? Oh, they're looking at an April date? Oh, they were trying to catch a mole. Well, that would explain why the share price... It doesn't change my opinion on Apple is looking strong. Mara Perez, US $5. Morning, Tom. Thank you so much, Mara. Asking about AVGR again. Thanks a lot. Love the daily streams. Thank you so much. AVGR, by the way, Bitcoin fans, 55,061 on Bitcoin. No problems with that right now. AVGR. Okay, so you'll be happy with this one, I assume, Mara, because it's come through. I remember doing this with you a few days ago, last week, and it's broken our key levels, and that's very nice. So we had our level around here, I believe. We've moved to 190. We're at 193. Down a little bit this morning, but everything looks good. Look, you got two scenarios. One, it comes down here and it should be met with buying pressure. This is actually an inverse head and shoulders. See the left shoulder, see the head. So you can take that distance. There's the inverse head and shoulders. You can take that distance and see whether it proofs to the market, which I think we might have done last time. Bring it up. Okay, it proofs to the high, which is perfect. So I still maintain that there's some good ability for you to be successful here in your position. Hopefully it goes to the technical level of around $2.38, $2.40. There might be some problems at $2.15. But yeah, look, if it does pull back, I wouldn't be scared. I just think that it's ready for its next move up. So hopefully that does occur. Yeah, all looks well. All looks well. Few people liking that idea of the Funko Pop NFTs. Cynthia Huxley, US $5. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Now, we'll go back up here, and we've got another one. Angel Suto, US $5. For long-term dividend investors, what are your thoughts on QYLD ETF? I assume, or you said EFT, but I assume it's ETF. It is not for growth, but for its huge yield. Does it make sense? Okay, QYLD. Now, I assume this is like a super yield. Oh, Nasdaq 100 covered call ETF. Didn't even know it existed. Covered call. Okay. What's the yield on it? Let me have a look at the yield on it. Because when you cover, they did pretty good to even get a gain out of the crash that happened. So October crashed and it went up. And it obviously got monstered during that time, which is fine because you expect that. It didn't ever recover. Yeah, so that's the problem. I'm trying to understand what exactly they're doing because remember they're covering, it looks like the Nasdaq, and when a crash happens, it can burn it really hard. Yeah, it looks like hyper crashes really burn this position and it can't recover properly because you overlay this onto the Nas and look at the degradation it's done, yet the Nasdaq is so much higher. What is the yield? It comes down to how good is the yield. I'm not sure I like this strategy very much. It reminds me of kind of like a yield maximizer kind of fund. These are not my favorites. They can be good for some time. Like they were pretty good over a slow growth market. See how they were really consistent and pretty good there. And I'm sure the yield paid off quite well. But during flash crashes or during sustained crashes over a couple of months, like the 18 crash and this one over here, it really shows how much a loss you take with the system and with the plan. You also never recovered again. I think it's good for certain times in the cycle, but I wouldn't be comfortable in this type of position. I don't know what they're doing. That's just my opinion. Yield better be damn good, and I'm sure it is pretty okay. Let me know the other one. Kalia Perez, US $4.99. Can you check out IO, or is this too volatile penny stock? Will in one moment. Okay, back over to just some thoughts today. VIX is underneath 20, but look, it's bouncing. It's trying to get back above 20, 4.71% up on the volatility of the S&P 500. Remember, it's the volatility of the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is actually the one that's declining more than the US 100 right now. The Nasdaq looks to be the stronger index and probably will remain the stronger index over the next month. February and March are horrible for the Nas. April is good for the Nas. So hopefully April does continue to give good results. BTC still having a bit of an issue with 55,000 ADA fans. Am I bullish on it? Am I bearish on it? Not too much opinions. It was declining pretty hard. I was looking at getting back in on this at around 122 when it was up here. I was waiting for that further pressure. But the good thing for ADA is it's going to try to test this 115.40 area during our session, our live session. So we can see how it interacts with that area. If it does, it could move towards the 120, and then we could continue to see some growth. I think that $1 is real support, but here is still very interesting. This is probably the real effect of what happened. Coinbase announced it should have gone up about 10%, not 50%. Something like that is probably the key. What else is happening? We'll quickly check gold. Gold here continuing to bounce off our longer trend line. You can put this trend line on, but I would like to see a new high formed out of gold, because see how it keeps failing to make new highs, new peaks. It's weakening in the trend. Have that trend line on. Very good one through the session. Silver continues to weaken. However, with silver, it could double bottom here. So for silver bulls, that right there, 25.82. We get a closure above there. We move back into 26.20 and back into the bull side. For the bears, all you need to do is close below 25.40 and all the way back to 25 you go. That's more for the day trader aspect. These are the 2 day trader levels that I would always have on my charts. And then I would be looking at trading that down to 25. And if it bulls, I'd be trading it up to 26.20, maybe the 26.40 through the session. So 2 really important levels there for silver. Let's check IO for Collier now. Ion Geon Physical Cooperation. Let's have a look if that's the one. I believe it is. Is this too volatile a penny a stock? Well, it's failed a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's not for me. Again, I'm not a big fan of these kind of pump dump scenarios. You get burnt by them eventually, and then bad things happen. 46 million market capitalization, really small. Is it on support? Yes. Is it moving up pre-market? Yes. It's up 11.63%. Hasn't been super consistent at pumping. Could go to 322. Go to the daily. If it gets through the 320, what is that, 320 kind of area, then you can move quite high and it will go back to the 350 and then through to maybe the $4 or $5 range. Look, I don't like this very much. I don't like most of the structure. So Collier, I would probably say it is not the best TA I've ever seen, but you have to obviously make your own decisions there. It's a tough one. Could it go to 320? Yeah, it certainly could. Honda Wagon, US $1.99. Have you looked at stock CTRM? I have not. I'll check it out. Splendy Diva, welcome to the Stonk Squad. Thank you so much for joining the community, Splendy Diva. Appreciate it. And welcome, Splendy Diva, from all of the community to you. Hopefully you have a good trading day. Appreciate your support. Looks like a great long time short. What did Graham say? Neo? Yeah, we do need to do Neo. Check out to Neo here. 42.95. Pre-market 42.48. Ooh, a lot weaker than Tesla. A lot weaker than Tesla. Still okay. Just needs to hold above 40. 42.45. Is that enough? Is that enough? Let's go horizontal support. And we've got the 40. Got the 46. We've got all our main zones. I believe it's in the middle of nowhere and untradeable at these areas unless you're investing. There's just nothing. There's no structure in between any of these areas. I just know 40 has to hold for Neo and 46 will trigger into 50. Anywhere in here, you're really just having a complete guess at where it goes to next. So Neo is pretty tough from that aspect, but we've got all our key lines and you can have these on your charts at any point. You can obviously chuck them up. Where I've got 50.07, of course, it's going to be the flat 50. It's going to be the flat 46. Zay, the wealth strategist, and I'll answer the other ones in a second, but I'll just answer Zay's. US $5. New to the channel, Tom. Thank you so much, but super glad I found this channel. Thank you so much as well. Can you check out SMH Semis? We will, and we'll do that in just a few moments. So Honda Wagon wants CTRM. Let's have a look at CTRM. That's Castor Maritime. Done this a few times. We went bullish on it when it broke through that line here. Looks like we've got some areas that we thought were problems last time. It hit 102. It's come back down. And now it's on pure support. And the pre-market is nasty. 2.41% down to 88.90. Okay, so this pre-market, you must have this stock holding this level by the end of the day. I want it to see it back above 91. If it closes where it's pre-market opening, unfortunately for you, it will go back down and it could go back down to some serious levels. Have a look at the daily. Yeah, it could go back to 82. So look to the close today, but if it closes underneath this support of 91, I believe it's going to 82. That's what I'm thinking, Honda Wagon. Cold Steel, what do you think of SQQQ? So that is the ultra short QQQ. It's on support. It's finding this support because we're getting closer to the 13,300. It's the exact inverse of the NAS itself. So here we've got the head and shoulders concept. We've got the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, which of course the Nasdaq, it's like this. What do I think of it? I think that it's pretty dangerous right now to be buying here. If you are, I mean, short side, I could see it going down for sure, just because I think the NAS is looking relatively strong. I think the rotation story makes sense, and a lot of other things could be happening. So yeah, I think that that's the big problem with the market right now. It's found support, but as the QQQ, as the Nasdaq bull through the day, which is most likely what's going to occur, we move back down to the 12. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking for now. Good luck there, Cold Steel, but it's make or break pretty much today, if not tomorrow. Zay wanted to check out semis. Let's have a look at this one. SMH. Semiconductor, the whole sector, I guess, is what you're looking at. What can you say? It's a bull run from heaven if you've been in it. Semiconductors usually do well at the start of the cycle. Go back over the past is probably one of the things you want to do. So go back over how did it perform during the GFC. So you got that quick pre kind of movement here. So let's call it January 09. Reprices up, reprices to March. Then we get the pullback. March. See that? See the pullback? I'm telling you, these things are happening again. Then you have a next movement, which goes to February. So that's actually a movement where it's pretty choppy, March through May, through June, through July. Is that actually what's going to happen again? Chop here. Chop City on semiconductors. And then after that point, we had a movement through to the next March period, and then it got a bit unstable. And then as the later cycle of the bull run came through, it went hyperactive. So in comparison, that is just insane how much gains we've had here. All this price action looks strong. You've got double wick rejection off the 20 on the weekly. That's the most common pullback correction zone that you get, is a pullback back to the 20 exponential moving average. That's exactly where it hit. It's bounced twice off that area and it's moving up at this stage. I could see it moving back up to the resistance here. Nothing looks bad about this chart, especially on the weekly. It just looks really, really good. Go to the daily. It's putting pressure on the 242. Expect that to be broken as the NAS goes through 13,300, and then it will just trade with the NAS on the way up. So I think it looks fine. Good luck, Zay, and welcome to the channel. Hopefully you've subscribed, which I'm sure you have. How many likes are we on? Are we ready? I think we're ready to be hyped. I'm feeling that we're ready to be hyped. Oh, we're well over 500. You guys don't remind me. All right, let's do it, guys. We are ready for Tuesday market open. We're about 45, a little bit less than 45 minutes away from the open. We'll answer more questions soon from the super chats, and then of course from the members out there and the rest of you guys. Let's get into it. Let's get hyped for the open. I'm ready for this. Here we go. Wish you all the best. Hopefully you have some success today. Hyper growth, possibly moving back in. Let's see. Now we're ready for it. Okay. That was a lot of fun. Everyone hyped now. Everyone prepared for what is to come in the market. So I got a number here coming from that percentage. 11.35% was the yield on that particular fund. At 11.35%, while the yield is good, it's still pretty heavily degrading. I like to understand my synthetic, so I still think that it might be worthwhile doing a little bit more analysis on it. But yeah, the yield's good, but if you go into a crash, expect heavy degradation on your money. Chris Dumas, US $5. Good morning, Tom. I'm holding EBON. Just wondering your thoughts. I'm in at 11.45. Okay, this is EBON. Welcome to this 1,700 plus viewers that we've got here in the community today. Hopefully you're all enjoying the stream. And if you are, remember to hit that sub button, hit the like. Let's get to 1,000. See if we can do it today. That would be awesome. 9.12 pre. 13.77% down yesterday. You've got it at 11.45. How did you get in at 11.45? Okay. Not sure. Maybe you got a little bit FOMO-licious there, Chris. It sounds like a little bit FOMO. Look, the good news is it's coming back down to support. Somewhere around 880, I would expect some buying pressure to come back into it. The bad news is whatever this is computer processing hardware. It's worth 1.57 billion. I'm not a big fan of buying into this hype pressure. Remember, use your technicals to make better decisions in the future if you can. And what I mean by that is, if you've got this candle here and your best case scenario is probably a 12 or a 12.50, or even like maybe, 13 before it pulls back a little bit, try to think about your risk reward, because this move is so huge. You're probably getting in around here because you're like, oh, I think it's going to 15, it's going to 20, it's going to the moon, Tom, it's going to the moon. Yeah, it could be, but I would always look to the left and learn what happened over there. It's done it before. What's to say it doesn't do it again? So my thought process is hopefully around the 889, you find some buying pressure. The 20 moving average will be met. There's some resistances which should act as support. It didn't last time, but I feel like because this was resistance, there should be some buying pressure here. Watch out for 10 on the retest if it does move up, and then watch out, of course, for 12 again, Chris. I wish you all the best. Good luck. Almost caught up here. Did I miss, what was it, CTRM? Oh, no, I didn't miss that. That was good. Rocktopus 306, Canadian $5. Thoughts on CP, please? Okay, let's have a look at CP. Canadian Pacific Railway Company. Well, firstly, I like railway, so that's cool. Let's have a look at the monthly. I'm sure it's pretty glorious. Let's have a look here. Oh, yeah, railway companies. Oh, they're good. Look at it. So glorious, the gains. Just the most consistent beasts there ever have been. So boring, so consistent. That's had a very nice run on it. Possibly it's a little bit overcooked. I think it comes down here, even though the pre-market is up 0.55%, and it hits this around this 20 moving average. That seems to be an area or a zone outside of crashes in the market that it does come back down to. Let's have a look at those during those hyperextension years, during the 12 area. Yeah, the 20 was pretty good buying the way through that. So, okay. I'm thinking 20. I don't quite like the fact that it only barely made a new high. It's clearly getting near the top of restructuring its price because it's having really large swings on the weekly. But wait for it to come back down to here, and then you'll want to. That's about 350 previous support, and then hopefully it can bounce off that zone. Volume has increased quite a lot on it as well. Maybe there's some earnings or something that came through that I don't know about. Looks like it. There's no way that dropped that much without an earnings report. So yeah, some degrading will probably still come through. Look to the 20 there, Rocktopus, and good luck. But I do love my railroads. They're going to be still fine investments moving forward. Applegate, US $2. IDA long-term. IDA Corp. Nice structural breakout. That's actually a very nice technical structural breakout, pulling back to the correct zone as well, which is around that 90. It probably already hit the first level you'd be looking at. Very, very nice. Long term, you're talking years. Well, after a breakout like that, I mean, It held a weekly. It's pulled back. It's doing everything you want for this structure. Movement up to the 113. I mean, why not? Why not for this? Makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's broken through. There's not much resistances or supports. It hit the first resistance straight away, which is that 102 level. So now we can move towards the 113. Yeah, it looks good. 4.936 billion. Thank you very much, Applegate. Great closure above. Nice TA, bro. Good work. Rocktopus 306 Canadian $5 again. I believe CP has been selling stock to pay for their merger with Kansas City Southern, which might explain the dip. Yeah, I would say that's a huge part of it, Rocktopus. So if they've been selling stock, therefore kind of bringing more stock out for people to invest in, that will create a dip. And they're also paying for the merger, which means, yeah, again, dip. So possibly even further pullbacks there due to the fundamental. Watch how the market plays out. Is there a timing on the deal? When you're trading stocks, and we haven't done this that much on the channel because we do a lot of TA, you've got to understand when the deal is done. So let's say we've got a deal, we'll have a timer on it. And during that period, if they say, okay, we're going to buy this many stocks, it can actually degrade the price for quite some time. Look at when CRM, Salesforce, has bought Slack. Look at the way that the share price has just been like bleh for ages. Josh Kitson, Australian $7.99. Might be a rookie question, but why do the indices dump at market open? They don't dump every single time at market open. I think that would be a coin flip. If you're asking about that one, Josh. The reason the indices manipulate the first hour, though, so that's probably the more important thing, is because everyone, like the retail community, we're all here now. We get hyped for the open. We all trade in the morning because it is known as the retail hour. And then Wall Street moves to the next section. So I think the best illustration of this is sometimes you'll have, well, yesterday you had a lot of randomness, but you sometimes have like a market that will move up initially, then it will dump after the first 15-minute, half an hour, freak everyone out, get them all out of that trade, and then move up again. And what that does is it creates the double trade. Hype and anticipation from weekend people trading up, then it dumps, then they sell out at a loss, then it buys up again, then they buy back in, and then the rest of the day occurs. So what this does is it creates transactions. And since the rise of Robinhood, since all of you guys got interested, we did a poll before, we found that a lot of people have only had like 6 months, 1 month, 1 year of experience in the markets, in the community. The fact is that they use this as a tool to manipulate. Usually the close is actually the most important time, Josh. So it's not always going to dump in the market open. That I think is a bit of a fallacy. But what does happen is the biggest manipulatable time is the first hour of power. How's that oil going? So oil's straight on support. Yeah, railroads are cool. Don't worry, guys. Railroads are cool. All right, we're almost caught up here. Christian Kavanagh, $2 Australian. Thoughts on Lena coin? Lena coin. Whoa. Oh, I want to zoom in on that. That is so mean. Is that real? That is so mean. 99,993. Is that actually a real price? I would hope that isn't, because can someone tell me if that's a real price? That is insane. Thoughts on current price for Lena coin? Actually, it looks pretty good. This is a 5-minute chart, which is probably not a great time frame to be looking at, but that looked all right. Structure's coming back into it. It has had some declines coming 22nd of March. It's a 1 hour. Little time frame there was actually almost tradable. Oh, so little data. I mean, maybe it makes a move up to 15 cents, which is really negligible. I'm not happy with whatever that was, if that's true. If it came in and actually did that, that is super bad, and I don't have much faith in it. But also, how did it get there? Was it just pumped because everyone was so excited to be in this coin? I'm not sure. TA-wise, unreadable. You just don't have enough data. Sorry, man. FPS Alchemy. FPS Alchemy. US $5. Could you name the indicator scripts you use, please? Indicator scripts. the indicators I use, yeah. I mean, the indicators I use are stochastic, MACD, volume, pivots, RSI, moving averages. And the 3 moving averages I use are 20, 50, and 200. And the 200 is an SMA, the 50 is an EMA, and the 20 is an EMA. So they're the ones that I use predominantly throughout the streams. Thank you very much for the donation. Kathy Wood bought Teladoc SD. All right, let's have a look here. See what Kathy Wood. Well, you know, I actually really like the technicals on T-Doc. You guys know I've been rampaging about that for the last couple of days. It's refresh. Where's my T-Doc that supposedly has been purchased? March 19th. Why do I not have this? Is this not updated or something? Stupid website hasn't updated. Ah, well. Maybe they have purchased. Let's have a look at T-Doc here. I've got it up. So yesterday I chucked this little technical. I thought it was an interesting one. So you actually had a hour close above. And what this did was it forced in a little bit of a double bottom. So you had the low, and you had the resistance. And when that occurs and you get the closure above, for me, that's kind of like a little day trade where I can say, okay, I can take it up to maybe like just underneath 200 and then maybe even trade it to 205. For longer term investors, what's it doing? 0.61 up pre to 198. It has to get above 205. But once it gets above 205, it exposes 220. And once it gets through 220, the hype will be back in and real. All the Amazon stuff, I've looked into it. Amazon will take a while to really degrade in this business. And Wall Street doesn't look that far forward most of the time. So 198 in the pre, I'm thinking it's okay. 206 will be the resistance on T-Doc. Yeah, so they're the indicators I use. All right, we're caught back up, which is awesome. Kathy Wood bought a lot of T-Doc, but I don't think yesterday. Yeah, she bought heaps of T-Doc recently. She's been very heavy in T-Doc, very heavy in Tesla. Let's have a look at the pre-market. We are half an hour away, 28 minutes. Not long to go now, everybody. Let's check out what is moving and what is not moving, the movers and the shakers. So we've got Tesla 1.37% up, actually the third of the large caps. Can we go to 22 billion yet? No, too many. Okay, 23 billion it is. So Tesla is the large cap kind of king at the moment for today's trading. We are up the highest. Regeneron as well. Texas Instruments, Roku, Netflix, all of these moving slightly up. In the downside, we've got Baidu. We've got probably some banks coming through here. Lockheed as well, 0.8%. Lockheed could be one that's included in that space fund if she ever does get the ARK space fund off. Goldman Sachs, 0.62%. Caterpillar and others. And in the GME, AMC, and all the other crazy ones, GameStop actually up 197 here. That's good news. Get above 200, and we're feeling a bit better about it in anticipation of the news event. We've got Tilray down 1.38%. We'll have a look at Afria soon and Tilray. And then AMC, unfortunately, not at 12. We'll watch this into the open, and we will be ready with the lines that we're looking at today. 5.76 for AMC. Tom, check out CCIV. Okay, I'll check out CCIV. Moderna. I think we looked at Moderna yesterday. Let me just load this back up and get everything ready. Thanks so much to the new members today. 4 new members. Appreciate it. I think we're approaching over 130, which is awesome. So CCIV was a little bit pumpy and dumpy, wasn't it? It hit that 32 resistance and then dumped straight back off that level. And it doesn't seem to be showing that much strength. So this was, I don't know if I have that much faith in it. I don't. I really don't. It just doesn't look as good as the other positions out there. 32 was hit, resistance was met. There's no strength in any candle here. If you look at each single one of these candles, they tell the same story. Mostly bearish pressure. That's probably the point that you find more buying support, which is going to be around the 25 psychological. So I'm actually pretty neutral to bearish on this. I don't feel like there's much strength until 25, and then hopefully you get some power through that point. Let's have a look at Tilray, because Tilray is a play that does come down quite a lot. It's actually sitting right around support. There is a second support sitting at 21, which has been where it's bought off twice. So see how bang, 21 has been very, very successful as a purchase from Tilray. And then right where it is right now, even though the pre is actually a little bit lower than that, it has actually bought off before. So will it go to 21 or will it just stick at 23.55? I could see Tilray running if GME and the AMC situation fail. Okay, that's what happened last time. If they fail, I could see it moving on through. Yeah, I looked at TCAT already, Jeff. If you go back over, I think the first 10 minutes, we definitely checked out TCAT. Thanks so much to the 1,700 viewers joining us. We've got 25 minutes into the open. What's the FANG doing today? Let's have a look at the FANG index. Whoa, that volume is insane. FANG index is literally trading actually a little bit better than the NAS. So see how it hit the resistance. And it's actually hit the resistance yesterday. It could be an early indicator for the NAS breaking through. 1.6% yesterday for the FANG index. Yes. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Let's wait for the FANG to get through. And then when that closes above, we know that the FANG should reprice to 4,700. And we can use that as a pre-indicator for our hypergrowth concepts as well. I like that. It's a good chart. Thank you very much for bringing it up. I've used it before several times in this case. The big ones lead the small ones. Yeah, they lead the way. So this FANG chart is actually really worthwhile checking out. Look for the close above this 4,022. I want at least a 4 hour, and ideally we would want a daily. But if the daily closes above and the NAS hasn't closed above 13.3 yet, could be an early indicator it's going to happen. Very, very nice. Very nice. Load up AMC quickly here. Pre-market is 11.76. Pre-market for GME in an hype and anticipation 197. Johnny Bravo coming in, or Johnny Knoxville, sorry, coming in here. Top of the morning, Aussies. Thank you very much, Johnny. Appreciate it. Couple of donations coming through. Ricardo Evans, US $4.99. Hey, brother, can you check out SNCY? We certainly can, Ricardo. Thank you for the donation. And we've got Nickstar 2006 coming in with $2. I assume you want to look at something. Big C. Okay, we'll check that out. Thank you very much for the donation there. Thank you again to the mods as well who let me catch up with these areas. Okay. FANG, worthwhile having on the charts. Check that one out. Certainly worthwhile. Here's our gold trend line for today. BTC holding at 55,100. AMC is doing its thing. Let's check out SNCY, Sun Country Airline Holdings. Ugh, airlines. Airlines. I'm not a fan of airline stocks. The main reason is one falls out of the sky and you get absolutely obliterated on your share price, which sucks. Look, the biggest problem here, Ricardo, is we just don't have any history. I can't really TA no history. So because it's only come in since the 17th of March, it's traded in a range. It's trading up and down between, pretty big range, like $33 and upwards of $38. But I just don't have any history, man. I wish I could do more analysis for you, but what can I say? I mean, it goes to 36.50, that's resistance, and somewhere around 33.50 is support. It's not enough to go off to make a statistical decision on your investment. So yeah, SNCY, I just don't see that one. Big C coming through, big commerce. That's actually not bad. Let's go to the daily. Nice closure above. Looks like you want to make the next move. I could see this moving up to 60 now, finding resistance at the daily 20 there. But yeah, that's a nice closure above the previous wick candle. Will lead to most likely some buying pressure. You do have a pretty deep slope. Let's have a look at the weekly. Yes. Okay, so it's in. It really needs to find support. It's found 2 rejections there last week and this week. Last week was pretty negative. This week needs to be positive. So let's get back up to 60. That daily was looking good enough for you. Then next star closure above the wick. The rejection zone should signal, and there's 2 there, should signal some bullish pressure into the 60. No worries, Ricardo. Shay, US $5. Just got here. Have you looked at DLPN, new NFT? Holy smokes. Thanks for all you do. Enjoy the stream. Appreciate it, man. NFT DLPN. It seems like this is where all of the interest is right now on Stock Twits and everybody else. 144%. Let me just show you this. Ready? Here we go. There we are. $13.12. It will be a pump and dump. I'm sure of it. NFTs will pump and dump across the board. It looks like this is most likely a taken over code. I assume that's why it's traded like this in the past. Taken over code. $12.60. There's no technicals you can use here because all the previous stuff makes no sense. Use the standard method when it comes to crazy retail people doing crazy retail things. $15, $20. All of the round numbers go slightly below them and focus on human psychology. So get in on the smaller time frames, focus on the human psychology around these key areas. Now that it's gone pre-market 13, it's unlikely not to go to 15 or around there. And that's just because it's trading with the retail crowd. I bet you if I load up Stock Twits, it'll be like bang, bang, bang. Everyone's everywhere. Wild Bill says, like that, smash button. Appreciate it. Drones that will probably deliver Sundial, says Live Free. Sundial has drones. Oh, my favorite stock. Did it go down again? Definitely not my favorite stock. 12.75, down 3.85%. I feel bad for people that traded this thing. Well, trading's okay, but people that really believe in it, it's a burning of cash. It's like just flames of cash just everywhere, just getting destroyed on this one. Let's load up where we think some support will be found. Probably around 110. Now that it's at $1.25, it seems likely it goes, unfortunately, further down to the 110. It's never held. Oh, it held 122 once, but usually spiked lower. I could see this going lower. There's nothing bullish about this chart right now. Unfortunately, yeah, back to the 110, and then hopefully it's met by buying pressure like last time. Good luck there on Sundial. Not my favorite. Don't forget his favorite crypto, Doge. I haven't even looked at Doge. Where's my Doge? Doge. Looks horrible. Didn't quite get as low as you would think. Yeah, that is bad. It's not my favorite, that's for sure. 55,261 on Bitcoin, putting instant pressure on that resistance high. That is good. Look at it go. It's having a crack. We get the closure up here, 12:14, still a while away, 45 minutes before the 2-hour closes. But we get the closure above here and we haven't moved that much further up. We should be looking at probably a 56.5, if not 57,000 on Bitcoin. Watch this zone intently for your levels. It's very, very important. Thoughts on Riot? We checked out Riot a few times. Yeah, we checked that out quite a few times. It was okay, but it's just going to trade around Bitcoin. So I don't really look at Riot so much. I just look at whatever Bitcoin price is doing and we move from there. Thank you to the 1,617 viewers coming out today. Just a quick reminder, we do have our technical analysis masterclass. Been doing this for 10 years as educators as well as trading for much longer than that. If you're interested, check it out. 10-year coupon there, and it's pretty damn good discount. It's amazing that we've been around for so long, but yeah, I appreciate it, guys. If you want to check out the courses, you can do so. Let's have a look around the pre-market now. What have we got going on? Riot blockchain, that was one we just got asked a question about. AMC down 6.65%. Sundial down pretty hard. Tilray down somewhat. What else? GameStop actually up. Green 196. And because it's 12:15, 15 minutes away, we'll dial in now on all of the stocks that we're looking at for today. Pre-market across the board. Microchip, Regeneron, Netflix, Roku, Tesla still holding 1%. Chipotle somehow is still worth $1,444 per share. And then on the negative side, we've got Crown Castle, Zscaler, Stryker, Ferrari, all of these ones here, JP Morgan, etc. US 10-year treasuries, let's quickly look at them before we get started. US government bond yields, 1.65, went to 1.62. I could see this occurring today, like that. Moves up to 1.67, finds resistance, and then moves down to the 1.6 level. And that will probably trigger Nasdaq to be fairly strong. Look, even as these treasury yields are going up, the Nas is unstoppable. It's 13,123. So the Nas is still unstoppable. Volatility index slightly up, but hit the 20 and then bounce back down. Dollar index is 92.14 ahead of Powell testifying. Remember, J. Powell testifies 2.5 hours into the market open. Resistance being met on the dollar. This will be the chart that we focus on tomorrow, I would say, after the close occurs. And let's see what Darth Sidious has to say. US $5. The evil man is here. How do you intend to get the Millennium Falcon to light speed by trading the 4-hour and daily? Join the minute, the M1 Empire, my child. I have much to show you. That's a very good one there, Sid. So, yeah, the 1 minute time frames. What do you guys think? Let's actually get a quick mention from the community. Darth Sidious wants me to go to the 1 minute time frames. What do you guys think? Should I go there? Also, what is your favorite time frame to trade or invest on? Let us know right now. Let's see which ones everyone is looking at. Are you looking at the 1 minute? Are you looking at the 5 minute with Sid? Or are you looking with me at the 4 hour, the 8 hour, the daily? Let me know what time frame you like. Krunal is going crazy about Afria 1 hour. Okay, let's have a look at 1 hour. Thank you very much, Sid, for your support and great mod work there. I do appreciate it. 1855 pre. What about the 1 hour? Do we like you or not like? Afria actually are holding like a boss because of the deal. Tilray getting destroyed and Afria is just like, yeah, it's all good. We'll hold at 1872. In March, it was $14. Here we go. 1 hour, 4 hour, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, and 1 hour only. 1 minute and the 5 minute. Christoph, you and Sid should hook up and do some trading sessions. Vincent, 1 minute. Cold Steel, 5 minutes. 5 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, says Daniel. 1, 5, 15, 5 minute invest daily. Fair enough. Maybe I should go down to the 5 minutes a little bit more for you. You know I love the swing, though. I do love the swing. So much swing. I can hear the Empire theme. That's true. Wow, you're all on the 15 minute, 30 minute where I used to sit. Minute by minute and in depth when I'm buying. Well, guys, little known fact, I started on the tick chart, so I have you all beaten. My first trade, tick chart trade. I put moving averages on it and I bought them. That's on the tick chart. You wouldn't believe it. 1856. I don't really think Afria is doing too much. I mean, it's on the little miniature support, but it looks pretty bearish, doesn't it? There's nothing good here. But yeah, that 1 hour chart's not showing me anything particularly. Go to the daily. meh. Yeah, a bit meh. Let's dial in on the 5 minutes then, or 15 minutes for Tesla and see how it's been showing the last couple of mornings. So here's Tesla, 677 in the pre, up 1.12%. Do we expect it to find support? I would say yes. And because the NAS is actually holding 0.35, 0.36, if it can continue through that, there's no real reason that Tesla can't get back to 700 today. I feel like it can get back to 700 today. Let's dial in on our 4 charts. Get ready. Here we go. Boom. So we've got our Nasdaq on the 15. We've got our Tesla on Darth Sidious's favorite one, the 1 minute. We'll follow it through the 1 minute. We've got daily here on AMC just for the level. But really what we want... Oh, that is a horrible entry. Damn, 1156. You got to pay attention to the daily closes on AMC if you're trading it. I feel bad for some people that are in it. 1155 is not cool. Down 7.45% here at 1155. What does that mean? Not good things. Continuous decline if it can't retrieve straight away. Hopefully you got dip buys initially. Hopefully whatever happens on GME pulls through. But yeah, 11... That is not a cool open. 1155, maybe even down to 1120, 1110 before it finds some buying pressure, and that 20 moving average on the daily. We'll dial them in on the 5 minute. Let's do it. We'll switch charts as well. Oh, actually, no, we don't have to. We decided that yesterday. We can just have AMC sitting here. There we go. What are you looking for today for GME? Close above 200. That will really reset sentiment. So a close above 200 would be excellent. It's actually like a little miniature inverse head and shoulders here on the 15. There it is. Let me just load that line up for you. There's your little bit of resistance. So about that one, actually where it's opening, pre-197, little closure above there should signal some buying for GME. So GME could come through with the goods. That's a little inverse head and shoulders on like a 5 minute chart. This is a 15-minute chart. Mr. Buff says, same lol. Well, you traded the tick chart as your first chart? Only crazy people do that. Is tick charts what they had in the Jurassic era? Sarah, come on. I'm not that old, Sarah. I'm not that old. The Jurassic era. I was using the greatest technology. You would be surprised. Most of the stock trading tech was exactly the same 12 years ago as it is now. That's why I'm excited for the next decade, because we're finally seeing power to the retail traders. The amount of information that you're getting in the last year in trading for free, even through streams, even through Koifin, check out Koifin, check out Finviz. Finviz's been around for ages. Check out all these new websites that have been made by Redditors and open community. It's awesome stuff. Power to the people, as they say. US 100 continues its increase. Look at 13,172 break to pretty much move towards the 13,300 resistance. This is the 15-minute chart. We are 7 minutes away. Let's have a look how many likes we have. Have we hit it? Guys, get us to 1,000. Come on, you can do it. We're sitting at 935. Let's get to 1,000 likes so we can play the music and get hype for today. Is AI ready for a jump? Gold and silver dumping at FX Evolution, says Dave. Well, is dollar index strengthening? Not really. Gold down 1734. Okay, so if gold, not yet. But when it closes through my little trend line here, yeah, that will trigger further selling pressure. That trend line, a lot of day traders would have that on there. A lot of day traders. It's just too good. But everything looks hideously weak. It really does look hideously weak. Where are we? Let's load it back up. There we go. Johnny Bravo's here. Good to have you here, Johnny Bravo. Gold and silver selling off, perhaps going to pump into the Nasdaq. Clarice says, hype time. 1K is hit according to Mad. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's switch on over. Here we go. 6 minutes before we're ready. Guys, you're all going to make money. That is no guarantee, but I hope you do. Fan Man says US dollar card. I do love Elon Musk. I don't know why, but is that us? That's probably me. That's me recently with my black up and when the tech sell-off occurred. Well, not that so much the YouTube live streaming occurred. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for getting us to 1,000. We've been pretty consistent with that one. Welcome to the 1,630 viewers. If you're yet to subscribe, consider doing it. Consider following this channel. I've only got improvements, and I've ordered a few new things for the stream moving forward, so I think it should be quite cool. 677 Tesla pre-market, 4 minutes to go. 13,129 for Nas. We expect a green day at this stage in the Nasdaq, and US 500 will just be like this, boring as day for the US 500. Look at the FANG to give us a quick, maybe instant succession of what's going to happen next. If we get a closure daily on the FANG, this is a great concept. Look at the FANG, the big companies. If they close through on resistance, what does that mean? The Nasdaq doesn't. It means the Nasdaq will push through and you'll have more support from the back end coming. Nami says that guy is old as to the moon looks like a cliff. Yeah, that's right, Johnny. Love the track, Tom. Thank you very much, Roman. Appreciate it. Reese does not like it. Reese is throwing up here. Any opening predictions for the GME or go up? I say up. I would agree with up. When is the announcement coming out? Anyone got the announcement time for GME? Give me the announcement time, community. And then we can tell you where it's going. Because it will, I would say up though into the announcement. And then after that, who knows? Can we put a fence above BTC, please? I want it to go down. I never put fences on the top side. The fences go on the downside. And I'm telling you what, I'm thinking AMC needs a serious fence put into it. We are about to put the fence down. The fence is coming in. All right, let's do it. Damn it. The fence doesn't fail. Oh, God. Instant fence pressure. All right, there we go. AMC, the fence is down. We've locked it in at 1140. Come on now. Don't prove me wrong. The fence is usually pretty good at holding the zone, holding the level. I got faith because I believe GME is actually going to open up here. Silver is pissing me off, says Landon. Yeah, well, fair enough. It's annoying. Down to 25.26. Unfortunately, probably continues now through to 25 flat. That is unfortunate. It's very slow trading on silver. It's all awaiting the next thing. And that's the problem with silver and gold. When they're on, and they're super boring otherwise. Here we go, 2 minutes now. Look at this countdown. Let's have a look at the pre. Pre on the bullish side. The fence will go over the top. Sorry about that. We have to leave it there. Zebra Tech, 2.87 CME group. Look at the changes that have occurred. Suddenly green in many tech stocks have come through, and red in, oh, that's actually a Z scale has gone down now. A bit red there. Over here, pre AMC down the most. GameStop up 1.44%. BlackBerry, Afria, Riot, Tilray. Looks like it's going to be a bad day for weed stocks. The fence is out. AMC is being supported. Apes. We need apes in the community. Spam them all. Spam them hardcore because you guys need to spam till $11.40 is held and reversed. If you're in that stock, you need to spam ape emoticons right now. 20 seconds till we get the open. Let me get the opening bell ready. Whoop, a little early. Here we are. Get hyped, guys. It is Tuesday market open for the US stock market. 4 seconds. Here we go. The beautiful jingle jangle. There we go, guys. Look at that AMC. The fence got pressured instantly, but don't worry. It was looking green. GME instantly hit the 197 resistance. We're looking for a closure above here in the first 15 minutes. Sid's there on his little Darth Sidious is there on his 1 minute charts. Tesla up at the 675 and the US 100 coming in at 13,130. So 1140 is still holding here for AMC. Hopefully it can come through. Easy money with the fence strat. Well, yeah, it's not usually where I'd put the fence. I'm just doing it to try to support you. It's the closest thing we've got to some support here, but we're sitting on what chart are we sitting on? A 5 minute chart. The fence doesn't come out in the 5 minutes that often. We just have to hope. Hopes and dreams there. Pressure coming back down on the 1142. Need GME to start showing some presence. Can it get above 197 and help the AMC situation? There must be some volume here. I'd say we do not want to close under 1140. There is buying. No. Where's our lowest point that it got to? 1132. 1137. No. It's hit the fence. It's in the barbed wire. 13,113. What's going on with others? TDOC opens down 0.4%. Net. Cloudflare opens up 0.67. Square flat as attack. Tesla up 0.43. GME now finding some strength. Can it pull it through? We're in the middle of the barbed wire. 1132. That is the lowest point. We do not want under that. No. I could feel it going to 1120. This is what happens, Sid, when we're on the 5 minute charts and we bring this out. Okay, 199. I thought these trade in unison. What is this? Can we get a thumbnail with you wearing a karate outfit chopping stuff? I do have a green belt. I actually did karate as a kid. Oh, the fence is coming back. The barbed wire was too much. It's bleeding to the upside. I think we can hold here. Let's do it. US 100, 13,103. So pretty uneventful open. Bitcoin probably the most interesting at a 55,400 into the open here, 2.52%. XRP continues to maintain the strength that we've been talking about for the last couple of days. I told you, when you set that 50-cent alert and then you wait for the 50 cents, finally it becomes interesting. But if you sit there the whole time, it's crappy. That's the difference between knowing that you want to get your money in and knowing not. Oh, I notice here. 1133, back in the barbed wire. Woo, TCAT. How crazy is TCAT actually going? Tesla's pretty boring, so let's go to TCAT quickly. 6285, up 28.27%. This is the NFT thing. The unstoppable ascendance. Be very careful here. AMC continues to hold the session. 1146. 198. 200 getting pressured again on GME. And TCAT looks like it wants to continue its movement up. What is the size of this now? $704 million. It's going to end badly. But for now, maybe it's okay being part of it. Yes, do that thumbnail. Oh my God. The fence remains undefeated. That is true. I think I've done enough. Look at this. If you haven't subscribed already, you got to subscribe for the fence. Look at the fence's good work. You've got to. It's just a beast. We don't put it down unless we're going to get some support. Here's the $200 for GME coming through. Let's see the 5 minute close above. We are coming into a 5 minute close. 40 seconds away. Karate picture. That is going to be bad. Lots of Tesla selling. Yeah, a little bit of Tesla selling. Volume currently sitting at 1.9 million. it's pretty similar to yesterday's volume, but there is a bit of Tesla selling here. Look at 660. I'm wondering whether we should be more concerned about this price action on Tesla. Has it just been grabbing people for the dip? It was the most aggressive sell-off. The rest of the market, kind of hyper-growth stocks and stuff, have recovered a little bit better actually now than Tesla. Not off their lows, but they have been recovering. Like right now today, Cloudflare, hypergrowth stock up 1%. Square, flat. TDOC, flat. Tesla, down. 5 minute just closed then. So it looks like we can take away the fence. We don't need it anymore. We've held the level. The barbed wire punished AMC back up. Level you're looking for today to close above is going to be 12. You've unfortunately got problems here for AMC from the 12 bracket. And from the GME, we want to get the close above 198. NAS, 13,172. And Tesla, just hold 650, 660. Just hold the line, 700 on the resistance side. All right, guys. Well, pretty much you know what time it is. It is time for me to clock off for the day. I'm enjoying the session so far. We'll be coming at you again for Wednesday market open 2.5 hours before the US session occurs. Things to watch out for today are going to be things like dollar index, treasury yields, and also how the Nasdaq plays with the market. But just continue watching throughout the sessions. Watch GME if you're an AMC. It's going to be your lead. And when that news comes out from GME will probably be the most terrifying time for sure. TCAT going to get halted? Most likely it will. Most likely it will. FX Evolution, RFTAC is the new Reddit. I'm not sure if we're the Reddit. I don't even have an account on Reddit, but I read it. Actually, I do. No, I do. I have one that was part of Wall Street Bets years ago. All right, guys. No worries. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow for Wednesday Open. Good luck today. Continue to watch these markets, these levels. 13,175 NAS. Tesla, just hold the line at 660, 650. AMC, you just better hope that GME can hold above the 200. If it can, it's going to be good. But we're not going to bring back the fence right now. The fence got us a few percent up. It did what we needed. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Yeah, no worries, everyone. Let me just have a quick look here. The voice from beyond. Just having a quick look at the percentage changes on something. Okay, nothing there. Oh my God, Zoom video's up the most today. Zoom could have trades on that. Actually, I might look at that tomorrow. Yeah, nothing exceptional right now.